Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning. How you doing this morning, everybody? Let me see. I can't. Okay, good deal. I got a message from Leonard this morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of the Morning Glow. Hope everybody's going well. Hope everybody's having a fantastic, incredible, amazing day. And we're going to kick it off now. This is a very important day. This is the 5th of January. This is the 5th of January, and this is very important for a couple of reasons. It's very important for a couple of reasons, and one is my how you say the thing. Birthday Eve. It's my birthday Eve. So my birthday is tomorrow. So if anybody got any presents for me, make sure y'all get them to me by 12 o'clock midnight. So I'm accepting all presents, all gifts, all these things. So make sure y'all do it to me. But the second part of this is the election day here in Georgia. It's the runoff here in Georgia. So make sure that you all get out there. Make sure you vote. Make sure you vote. Can't tell you who to vote for. I can't tell you who I'm voting for, but make sure that you all vote. Today is January the 5th, and the election day is today. They had the early voting and all that stuff was going, all that's behind us. Those numbers are already in. We have to vote. We have to vote today. We have to vote and vote today to make a difference. Um, there's a lot riding on this particular vote on today. Toya, what to see you from Georgia? There's a lot running on this election today. What do you say to that? This runoff.
Did you say I'm from Georgia?
What you
That's
live
it.
in? Yeah,
Okay.
well, you know what you know what I mean. You live here. You are now a resident. You're now a Georgia peach. You're an import, but you're still a Georgia
I,
peach, huh?
I listen. I'm a pepper. I'm half peach, half apple. But listen,
Yeah.
Georgia. this is a, no. This is a very critical moment. I did some work just before the holidays with the Warnock campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Warnock, but I also understand the importance of Georgia right now with them getting the Senate.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I really don't know how this is going to turn out. I think the last I heard, they were a little bit behind, man, but I
Mm-hmm.
think we're going to pull it off.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so too. I think so too. People are and one of the good things about it, people are actually voting. The early voting, it's been a
Yeah,
lot of people that's actually come out already. I looked at one of the
yeah.
late talk shows last night, and Stacey Abrams was on there, and she was saying how um she's feeling very optimistic about it. She said she's very optimistic about and the numbers of people that was voting. She said between 18 and 25, which a lot of times you don't get a huge turnout. She said they're coming out right now.
Mhm.
They're letting their voice be heard,
Yeah,
and so that's
and
that's
that's good.
amazing. Yeah, that's amazing
Yeah.
to have the young folks come out and do something like that. Badger, what do you think? At 18, were you thinking about voting, Badger?
Man, I learned too much by that point.
Yeah. And see, and that's the thing. See, a lot of people have that mindset, but but still, I tell people, regardless of that, and I know everybody
I I
want
don't
their own path,
worry.
do the things that they want to do themselves, but at the same time, it's imperative that we vote. Go ahead, Badger.
I don't really worry as much about the face as I do about the individual bills and laws.
Mm-hmm.
Those I'll vote for,
Yeah.
no problem. But as far as the face that the
Mm-hmm.
public will see,
Mm-hmm.
that's to me that's all they are.
Yeah. And see, and the thing about it, and that's good that you say that, because a lot of times you have to understand that they have to have a platform. They have to have something that they're standing on. And I'm not gonna call a name, but one of the young ladies in the runoff right now, hint hint, one of the young ladies in the runoff right now, I don't know if she even have a platform. She's pretty much just she's a puppet to and doing and saying exactly what it is that they want her to do and say. And it's hard to trust somebody like that. It's hard to trust somebody. I saw the young lady in one of the runoffs, and I'm giving y'all a hint. I saw the lady in one of the runoffs, and she was just going right back to the same thing: defund the police. That's the only thing she said, and that's one of the speaking points. Toya, that's one of the speaking points that they're running on. She didn't have any. She didn't know about anything. She couldn't speak on anything. And I'm not gonna say she wasn't knowledgeable, but she didn't display that she was knowledgeable to me during that runoff. I mean that debate. What did you see, Toya? Did I see something wrong?
No, absolutely. The thing we have to understand is that everything we watch on TV, it's
Mm,
I don't want to say staged, but there's an art to that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and these people are, what to say, what not to say, what points they should go for, what points they should not go for.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's exactly why we're in this situation right now. We, the people, are looking for someone real that we can resonate with, because we see right through you're able to say, or you're able to drive fear with the point that means the most to us. But for 40 years, y'all have not kept y'all word on the points that matter to us. So when she does that, which that's all she do, it seems like that's what they're using. They're using the art of that game to just go for the points that they think matter the most to people. But now we too far beyond that. And in the midst of a pandemic right now, we are too, with George Floyd being murdered like that on camera, we are too far beyond just being able to point specific violent points about your competitor. You understand what I'm saying? They both need to really be getting the business. And I'm really, like I said last time, it really frustrates me to see them on here, because it's just like, tra-la-la-la-la, we're just going to go on like nothing's happening because you're cozy in your home.
Yeah.
You're not, y'all got y'all jobs, man. And y'all got y'all security and stuff, and we out here struggling. So again, when I think about it, it really frustrates me. But, we still got to carry on and keep structure and still put the right people in place. So, I think we're going to pull it off with the Democrats. I know in the beginning of the season, I was very skeptical because I agreed with a couple of Trump policies, but not saying I was a Republican. But it looks like, yeah, we're going to pull it off because people actually got up and voted.
Exactly. We have another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning, family.
Hey, hold on. Who is this?
What is going on, Morning Glow?
What's up, girl? Where you been?
Morning. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Thanksgiving.
All that good stuff.
Office day. Hey.
That's my girl. Boy, I ain't heard from you in a month of Sunday with 2 Tuesdays thrown in there.
You hear me? So much has went on. Oh my God, I'll catch y'all up another day. But it's so good to hear everyone's voice.
Good, dear. Good to have you, sis. Definitely good to have you. We gonna go ahead and jump into this topic because I want to hear. Me and Badger was talking about it before we went on, and I want to hear. And Badger, I'm high and a happy elephant and lady, and Badger, that's a new brother that's with us. It's been a minute, girl. We got new folks to come along, but Badger, he's.
Hey, Badger.
Hey, how are you?
and
got a bunch of awesome people showing up.
Exactly. And my thing is this right here. I'm glad, Badger, that we have the ladies on here because they could come. I know they're gonna come from such a unique place, outside of what we're gonna talk about. Because I told you what the topic was, and I want to hear from these ladies. These ladies, man, I want to hear what they got to say. And our topic today is, if this world were mine. If this world were mine. How would you change it? What would you do? What would be some of the things that you would take out of it and implement in? How would it be different? And Toya, you see, I'm coming to you first. If this world were mine, finish that sentence. Toya?
If this world were mine, I thought the words was, I would lay at your feet all that night.
Oh my Lord! Oh, she went there. Good deal. I knew that was gonna come to somebody, man. It came to mind when I wrote it. I said,
you already know.
Exactly.
You already know. I ain't got no clue. But no, if this world were mine, I would definitely put some different things in perspective. Like some of the issues that we just talked about, man. I'll be sitting in the highest office, calling them in the office, asking them how dare they act like that, man. You know what I'm saying? I would be really setting some issues up for the homeless people, man. I see several buildings and homes that's just dilapidated that I would have a construction company for to go fix them up and get these cats in there. And you gonna work. You gonna do some kind of work. I don't care if you stuck in a wheelchair. The only thing you can do is sit there, watch the screen all day. You finna do something in exchange for this housing that is necessary. You know what I'm saying? So if this world were mine, I got a long list of activities and educational duties that you can't help but go wrong by the time I get finished having things in play that's actually going to help people, reach a goal. That's the game we got going on right now. It's foolish.
Good. Absolutely. And so we're gonna go real deep on this. And the phone lines are open 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. Give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. Now, I gotta ask my sister. Now, Shiva. She was from that.
You have reached the Wynn Community Health Center.
No. What number I need to hang up? Which one I need to hang up? The 77 or the 72?
To the nearest emergency room.
Hang up on the 77 or 72?
Wynn Community Health Center.
Shiva, which one should I hang up on? The 77 or the 72? Hang up on the 77 or the 72? Which one should I hang?
Please hold for assistance.
The last two.
You hang up. I'm on my cell phone.
Okay.
I'm on my cell phone.
Okay. What's the last two numbers of your cell phone?
9572.
Okay, I hang up on the other one. There you go. They want to hang up on the wrong line and kick you out there. Okay. Now, if this world were mine, Shiva, what would be different if this world were yours and you could make and you the big ball of shot caller? Big ball.
If I rule the world.
Oh, she went the other way. She went the other way.
Okay,
yes. See, y'all telling y'all age. Y'all telling y'all age. See, Toya.
You know that's a song.
Yeah, Toya. See. You went the Luther Vandross way, and she went the Nas way. So y'all might be telling y'all age a little bit, but I ain't gonna say nothing. But go ahead. If this world were mine.
The funny part about it is, this is a question that you can ask yourself right now, because if you rule the world, just think about it, you rule yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You rule who you are, you rule what you become. So literally you do rule your own world and what you're going to be and become by planning. What you do today affects your tomorrow, affects your future.
Mm-hmm.
So if I rule the world, we make mistakes because we are human. And I'm so glad man don't rule the world, because man will make the world what he sees fit based on what he or she wants.
Mm-hmm.
But if God rules the world, who loves everybody, have no respect for a person, who could be in control, this place will be a place of peace. It'll be a place of it could be almost like heaven, because God will be in control. And this world, because God is not in control, we have free will to do what it is we want to do. It becomes the world that we live in today.
Mm-hmm.
And so the sad thing is, I'm afraid of somebody else ruling this world, because I don't know what my fate would be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the fate of my people would be. I wouldn't know what the fate of women would be, because what if you have some child molester that says, okay, this world is mine and I rule it? Just think of the detrimental things that would happen. But for me, just to sum it up, if I ruled the world, all my sons and daughters will be rich. There will be no wants. Everybody will be set free. It'll be a place where there'll be giving, there'll be understanding, there'll be conversations. It'll be a place where you'll want to stay, But in reality, you can make that for yourself, because no matter where you are on the inside of you, because some people are in jail or something within themselves, they have drug issues, they are being beaten by domestic violence. You have some that's on a financial depression. You have people that are sickly and cannot move and cannot walk. You have people that go through mental illness, depressed, schizophrenia, all kinds of things. And so within themselves, they have to fight that battle, to become what they want to. And we have young people who are being intimidated by media, or intimidated by police officers, or intimidated by different things to change their world or who they want to be and what they want to become. So if I rule the world, you'll be whatever you want to be, like you can be today.
Freedom. It sounds like freedom. It sounds like you're speaking freedom, and that's a beautiful thing. Badger, what do you say to that? If I rule the world, Badger, how would it be different?
If I was allowed to serve as a vessel to rule this world, I would separate the earth. The people on the earth. Let me rephrase that.
Okay.
I would let the people that want to be obsessed by power and all that be on one side of the world, and the people that want to live peacefully on the other. Because I'm a firm believer that if you leave out the bad, how do we truly learn?
Mm-hmm.
Bad experiences help teach us how not to be, and multiple other things. So if there's not a balance, I believe it throws everything off.
Okay, but let me ask you this question right here, and I like where you're going with this. But even with that balance, how do you stop? How do you stop on one side from infiltrating the other side? Their rules and
Got
their
a big, huge 4-inch wall of
oh Lord.
protective barrier. The only way to walk through the other side is to be right in your heart, mind, and body.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, nothing can go through it.
Mm. So the habits, how do you stop habits from going from one side to the other side?
There was a show that showed like when a person, I don't remember what the name of the show was. It might have been an anime,
Mm-hmm.
but like when a person broke the laws of the land, they would be
Mm-hmm.
teleported to another place.
Mm-hmm.
So when people started like coming over to the peaceful thing and then started getting greedy and everything else, or get the mentality of wanting to control, they get put back over where to the other place.
Mhm. See, and my question with that, I'm gonna go to Toya as well. But my question with that, when somebody do that and they're automatically, I'm gonna use the word teleported over to the other side, it's not gonna be too long that side is going to be destroyed, and it's going to cease to exist because of all the bad habits that these people are bringing with it. Toya, what do you say to that?
Human nature is human nature. And
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, it's all about choice and free will. That's why we're in this position. And I think again, that's kind of what the problem is. I think that we all want to rule from an aspect of what we think is best for people in humanity as a whole. And you can't do that. There's too many multiple personalities. There's too many different levels of achievement that people want to reach for you to try to say separate the two. There's too many people that's going to be rising behind that can't be held back. So I think that if we just focus on the issues at hand and solving them, people are going to go where they may, long as you have someone in place to hold and maintain order. You understand what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So, I mean, I don't know about ruling the world separate to have or to contain how humans just are.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that's just never going to go anyplace. That's just choices that humans have to make at any given time, on any given level, on any given financial bracket, race, or creed. Humanity just have the opportunity to, and they take it. There's no separating that.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So I think if we just focus on the issues at hand, provide on the needs that humanity requires on a regular basis, and you should be okay. But even with all that being said, let's take it back to the beginning now. Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with all your circumstances. You can have everything the way you want to perfectly. It has nothing to do with the way you choose as a human being to be when it comes to being evil or wicked.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's good. That's good because and that's what I was talking about right there. Because honestly speaking, that's a beautiful position that Badger is taking because he wants to make sure that the love is displayed throughout, and he want to make sure that the people that are loving are not tainted by the other people, and like hearts are walking hand in hand, which is a beautiful thing. It's not anything bad that he's saying, but I also and I do it all the time. I question different things because I like to get to the bottom or the root of it. So let me go to Shiva. Shiva, what do you say to that?
You know, I was just sitting here thinking about interview Vampire in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
It says, the preacher said, if every day was a sunny day, then what's in a sunny day?
Mm-hmm.
It's saying evil is good. Because if you didn't have evil, then how would you know of good?
Mm-hmm.
And like, and then the choir's like, evil is good. So I think there has to be a check and balance. I do feel like it has to be a check and balance. Whenever you're meditating, those that meditate and you're trying to get one, or you're trying to get to that balance of who you are, and you're meditating, even if you're meditating on the Word of God, or you're meditating to get while you're fasting, the purpose is to be one with the spiritual realm, so then you can see things the way that you should see them. And if you don't have, to me, if there's not a check and balance, or like the scales of different things, you got to have even in nature, if you don't have the right amount of pressure or the right amount of this, things often go wrong, and we see different types of weather, like tornadoes, earthquakes, just different things like that. So there has to be a natural balance, and it's kind of like the yin and the yang. You have to have the two in order to have some balance. If those that hunt, if you didn't have hunting season where we would kill deers, just imagine how many wrecks of stuff could happen, because there'd be so many deers in the forest. So there's a check and a balance there. We supposed to kill to eat. And I feel that even if anybody ruling the world, there is that free will space. And there's nothing you can ever change it. Just think about it. God created this world. He created the heavens and the earth, correct?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
He created this world, right? And
Absolutely.
he also is our power and impotent, right? So if he created something that he wanted to be what he viewed it as in the Garden of Eden, something beautiful, right?
Yes.
Something peaceful. He created a place where you can feel free to walk with him and talk with him, where you're in control of the animals and the plants. The animal had to name them, and they were set up in a beautiful place, but free will got in and messed it up. I'm no better than God, so how can I try to create a world that I feel like would be beautiful, but free will will come in? And if it did it to God, who am I that it might not do it to? So with every good intentions that we have, is no way for us to create a perfect world.
Yes.
But what we can do is create a perfect us by following the example of Jesus Christ.
That's good.
And walking this earth in perfection and able to go to heaven, to that perfect place. That's the only place that we can have that will be perfect.
That's good. That's good. I want to go to, we got another call. I want to go to the call, and Badger, he's jumping up and down in his seat right there. So I know he has something on his heart that he want to say. But caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Donald Tucson.
Yeah, man. I'm listening to the broadcast, and I got it on my phone, so I'm trying to turn it off so I won't hear it.
Oh, okay.
Have an echo.
Hey, Donald Tucson, I miss you.
Oh, Lord.
Hey. Woo, 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 woo.
Oh, Lord. Oh, don't you do that hand clap thing, Donald. Don't you do it, brother. Don't you do it.
No, I ain't do it. I ain't do it.
Hey, look here.
Sherry, how are you? Where you been, homie?
Man, it's a lot. Look, I've been through the depths. What they say? I've been climbing some mountains.
But
we go through. That's what we do.
Exactly. Donald Tucson, let me ask you this question, sir. If this world were mine, this is you talking, Donald. If this world were mine, what would be different about this world?
It would be destroyed by now.
Wow, that's a different angle. Go ahead.
Yeah, of course. See, we can't do a better job. The earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof.
Okay.
The world and they that dwell therein. We cannot do a better job.
Okay.
So it'll be destroyed by now, because everything man puts his hands on, he corrupts. Everything.
Everything?
So who am I? Everything.
Okay.
Everything. Everything. What have we perfected? Even the word of God itself. I know we try and make a good attempt, but we jack it up. I heard this, and I hate to keep passing this on, but I heard I don't know if it was a member of Congress did the opening prayer in the session. And I'm disturbed about what he said, and I don't care. I mean, I'm not trying to discredit him or anybody else about what they believe or whatever. But in the end of his prayer, he closed it out and he said, "A man and a woman."
Wow.
So now the prayer or prayer as we know it, because of our frame of mind, it's not good enough to just say amen, which is in an agreement with him or say on. So you come up with, oh, I'm going to say amen and a woman to suggest that's just me. So what you're saying is that you're suggesting that God is possibly a transvestite.
Wow.
So
I missed that one. I missed that. I missed that one. Yeah, that
I'm gonna send it to you.
Yes, send that to me. Yeah, I definitely would love to see that. But
so if this world was mine, Raheem, they'd probably run into a star by now. And self-destruct.
Now, had we stayed on the course, Donald, had we stayed on the course of how God designed it to be and how God wanted this world to be run, would we be in a better place?
If we would have been obedient.
Okay.
We because this question here you got here now puts us where we want to be. Understand what I mean by saying that? We want to be God. We want to be God.
Yeah.
See, Satan has come and tricked us with that very thing. He says, "You're gonna be as gods." Oh boy, and that's that, like, to man, that was like, oh boy, really? So Satan comes to him because he wanted to take God's place. Hey, y'all can worship me because I'm the number one angel. And I don't know what the conversation was all about, but when he got cast out, his biggest enemy, his greatest enemy, became man, because man was created, as far as I know, just my little, in the image and in the likeness of God.
Yes.
And with a plan to take the place and replenish heaven with through Christ with mankind. So Satan is angry with man, and he says to him, you can eat this fruit. You'll be as gods, knowing good and evil. Yeah. We wasn't intended to know good and evil. We were supposed to do the will of God.
Yes, exactly.
But see, we want to be him. So if this world were mine, you think that I would do a better job?
Now let me go to Badger. Badger, I'm gonna ask you this question right here. And Donald put a lot out there. But if this world were mine, and I think it's going in a direction where God is the ruler and the ruler of this world, and lack of a better term, I think this is the way Donald is going, and I like that. But what do we do to the people that don't believe in God?
Well, you also missed what I said earlier.
I was speaking on what Donald said, but go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead.
If God allowed me
Mm-hmm.
to serve
Mm-hmm.
as a ruler for here. That's what I
Yeah.
would do.
Yeah. Okay.
To
Okay.
me, I have a different viewpoint than Donald as far as that kind of stuff goes.
Mm-hmm.
Because
That's the beauty of the morning glow.
exactly,
Mm-hmm.
the illusion of control
Mm-hmm.
plays a huge factor.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, we touched on it a little bit last night. You know, what I feel ego means, easing God out.
Mm-hmm.
So when people assume that they have control, they have taken creation, great mystery, God, depending on terminology a person wants to use, out of the equation. They're not being respectful to creation within all things,
Mm-hmm.
the God spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, like right now in this day and age, you know, you have people that want to follow a natural way. You know, some of it is based on very old traditions that's been around a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and a lot of it is not allowed to be publicized, not really allowed to teach it, speak about it, or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if we come from a standpoint of using Christian terms, we're allowed to talk about it
Mm-hmm.
because that's a shared religion with all. So
what do you do to the people? Like I said earlier, what do you do to the people, or help, hinder, or whatever, to the people that don't believe in God? Now, I'm not even gonna say that's not Christian, that don't believe in God. Period. What happens to them?
that's their right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But
However long it takes
what
them
do
to
you
find
do?
it.
What do you do? Because what I'm getting is everybody's painting a picture of walking in a certain harmony, and to walk to a certain harmony, if we was walking to the beat of a certain song, we would have to walk in step with that song for it to be right. What do you do to the people that's not walking to the beat of that song, that don't believe in God at all? Because I'm using the song as a
Okay,
symbolization
so
of God.
it's really hard for me to
Mm-hmm.
believe that a person that is following their own I don't know, prerogative,
Mm-hmm. Prerogative. Okay.
like control,
Yeah.
treating other people as however they want to treat them. Um, to me, they don't believe in God.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they voice it, their action says that they don't.
Okay.
Because when we speak, our actions are supposed to follow.
Now, if and this some people are gonna send me some emails when I say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. If what we're talking about was an apple, was an apple, and the apple symbolizes exactly what we're talking about right now, being in society and everything, being this world. If we look at it as an apple, and the people that don't believe in God, would they be a rotten spot in that apple?
Hmm. I don't think so.
Mm. I'm
Uh,
interested to find out what
qu-
everybody think about that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
okay, think about it. When you see someone that you can obviously see that
Mm-hmm.
isn't following uh, or doesn't believe in God,
That is me.
Mm-hmm.
how does it affect you? Like your thought process? Do you go, he has a point. Maybe I shouldn't. Or you go, I don't really like how he's living and stuff. You know, it doesn't feel right and all that. Do you learn something from it in a positive manner or a negative manner?
I think it's not necessarily that for me. And since you asked me the question, I answer it from my standpoint. I think it'll be more based upon his deeds and his actions. Because if a person, I think if a person really believing in God the way that they say they believe in God, with the love and kindness have I drawn thee, you're going to treat everybody in a loving way. You're going to treat everybody with the amount of love and respect that everybody deserves, based not based on the color of their skin or anything, but you're going to treat them with a certain amount of love. That's just that God is a God of love. And so if you don't believe in God, you're taking away that. And if you take away that, then you're going to treat people in a way that's outside of a person that's living the godly way. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why I say, could it be a cancer? Because of the way the way that they do and what they do and how they conduct themselves.
Wouldn't it depend on the individual if they allow that person to control them or not?
It doesn't matter. You know, I've never seen anybody that's being assaulted by anybody allow them to be assaulted. Now they could do things to stop the assault, but that don't stop that don't negate the fact that this person wanted to or had an intention to. If somebody come up and slap you, pow, slap you side of the head. Now, if you stand there and let them slap you again, that's pretty much your fault. But I guarantee you, if somebody, the average person, if somebody come up there and slap them upside the head and they draw back again, no, they're gonna stop that person. No, you're not gonna slap me again now. Hold on now. You slapped me one time, you're not gonna slap me again. The intentions of that person is there to slap you again. Or are you going to allow that to happen? No.
No, I'm going to defend myself if I have to.
Absolutely. And that's what we're talking about right now. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning. This is Annie from Mississippi.
Annie! Good morning. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Hey, doing well. Happy New Year to you, sister. Happy New Year to you. We're asking the question. If this world were mine, if this world was mine, and if this world was yours, what differences would you make? What would you implement? What would you take out? What changes would it be, and how would it be a better place?
Wow. If this world were mine, I would take out hate, racism, poverty, many things that I would remove. I can't even name them all.
Now, let me ask you, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you went there, because I want to ask you this question right here. Now, if you were to take out, and let's deal with one of the elements that you said, if you were to take out poverty, how would that make it a better place?
It would make it a better place because, I mean, no one would be hurting. You know, the children would not be starving. People would not be going through what they're going through right now. And, you know, I often think, and it's just me in my little mind, but I often wonder how people are suffering now in this country when we are supposed to be the richest country in the world. And I mean, a lot of things I don't understand. A whole bunch of things I guess I'll never understand, but those are the things that I would get rid of. But if this world were mine, you guys were talking earlier about something about a person being saved, and I wanted to say this right here. When a person is born again, when someone allow God to come into their heart for real, because there are so many people right now that has, you know, that says that with their mouth, and the Lord talks about the lip service. But when we allow God to come into our life and we just invite him in and allow him to take over and have full control of our heart, we have to love. There is no way around loving people. There is no way around, you know, treating people right. When you love God, because, you know, I don't understand how some people can say they're Christians, but, you know, their actions show differently. God, everything that was going to happen, when I read the Bible, Jesus called everything out, and everything he said back then is happening right now. Many people will come out here and say, you know, God said this right here, and I'm a Christian, but my fruit show differently. God is looking for the fruit. If you love God and if you belong to God for real, there are so many things that we are doing today that would not be in our heart if we were real Christians.
Yeah.
Remember now, Christians is Christ-like. It's like little Christ. So some of the things that we do, if we were who we say we were, those things should not be happening.
Exactly. And see, there's a lot of things. And you said one thing in what you said. If we were real Christians, and a lot of things, and my mind work a little differently sometimes, but a lot of things came to my mind when you said that, because initially, truth of the matter is the terminology and the verbiage Christian, when it was actually given to us, it wasn't a term of endearment. It wasn't a favor. They wasn't saying anything positive about us, but we took on that word and we placed it in our heart and we walked with it. Christian, the name Christian was actually given to him by the ones that was sent and trying to destroy Jesus Christ, Jesus the Christ. And he said they were down in Antioch at that particular time, and they said those are the people that's following Jesus the Christ. They must be Christians, and that's where that word came from. And so, it like I said, it wasn't a term of endearment. It wasn't something that was given to us by people that loved us or cared for us. It was actually given to us by people that wanted to destroy us. But Donna, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah. Man, this is something. Now, let me just throw something out there. Okay, and I'm probably, and most people would probably say the same thing. I would get rid of some of the things that we see that causes people hurt or confusion.
Mm-hmm. Could money be one of those? Could money be one of those things? Because a lot of people, money has been the source of.
Root.
Yeah, there you
That's
go.
The root.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's the root.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So man, this is a tough one here, because if we would get rid of some of the things, then why have a world at all?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just go to heaven.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I mean? Because what we're doing is we're trying to be the fixer of what God allows, or eliminate some of the things that God Himself, all-knowing, all-powerful, allows Himself. Because here's the thing, and I'm just saying, this war that we're fighting within ourselves, started in heaven. It festered
in heaven as it is on earth.
Lucifer.
In heaven as it is on
building
earth.
Up done. Yeah. So okay, let's take that. So let your will be done, as it is in heaven and so in earth. However you want to say. Mine ain't working too good. So He cast the act of unrighteousness out, and that war came here on earth. Then some people don't believe in the creator creating man in His image and His likeness. So that's just where I'm going. That's just me.
Okay.
So the festering of what was in heaven was waiting on man when he got here. And when he got here, he was alone with all the animals and trees and all that stuff like that. And woman came into play, and the total man fully functioning the way that God allowed him to start manifesting himself. And the enemy came and presented sin and unrighteousness. And you know what we did? Fell for it.
Okie doke.
Fell for it. Fell for the okie doke. Bumped our head from that point on. So the same thing that happened in heaven. If you make man, see, that's the wisdom of God. And I'm just saying the conversation. I don't know if that really happened. But if you make man, he gonna sin.
Yeah.
So the all-knowing God, before the foundation of the world, there was a lamb slain. That's the story that I believe. I don't know. I mean, I'm not too bright.
Oh Lord, go ahead.
But that's just what I believe.
Let me go. Go ahead.
So I'm just saying, it just seems like we believe that we could do a better job than God.
Sheila, what's on your heart?
You know, it's funny how everything come back full circle. You know, our human nature is to destroy everything that we think is bad. Poverty, violence, all this thing. And it's like that we've already stated, in heaven was a perfect place where none of that existed, but yet it came upon because of jealousy, ambition, and different things like that. You know, sometimes in trying to build a perfect world, it's something you cannot build, because humans are what they are. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna say this too about, you know, if you're not a Christian or if you're an atheist and different things like that, there's something on the inside of us. Whether you're an atheist and want to believe that there's not a God, but there's something deep in you telling you that's a lie. Mm-hmm. Because the things that you can't explain, or the things that you try to explain with science, it doesn't make sense and it doesn't add up. Mm-hmm. So within you, deep within you, you're fighting your own personal battle. That's why I say your world is on the inside of you, because you're made up of not only physical, but you're made up of spirit. Mm-hmm. So your spirit and your physical being is constantly at war in your own body to get you to become who God wanted you to be in the first place. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When Adam and Eve was in the Garden of Eden, they were perfect beings. Yeah. Until sin got there. Mm-hmm. And when sin got there, their imperfection brought on punishment, brought on things like sin. Mm-hmm. You know, and I heard the sister say, if you are a true Christian, this is one thing that Christians say all the time, but I think Christians get confused with I have to be perfect, I cannot sin, or I don't sin. If we were all perfect without sin, we wouldn't need a savior to constantly put us on our knees, like Paul says. Mm-hmm. I have a thorn in my side that keep me on my knees. So that's why I say, judge not unless ye be judged. We can't pass judgment on non-Christians or sinners or whomever, because you never know why they are. Your purpose here on this earth is to minister to them, to get them to see and bring them into a beautiful place where you are, because you can have hell on earth and still be in heaven in your mind. Just like with the disciples that was on the boat and it was a troubling storm. He said, oh, ye of little faith. Yes. He said, peace, be still. Mm-hmm. And everything was still. So you can have God while you still going through the hell that you're going through. You can still have a peace that surpasses all understanding. Why is she still smiling? And I know she's going through hell right now. Mm. How is she able to praise God? How is she able to lift her hand? How is she able to continue to stand knowing the things that she got to face? Is because my faith is in this world. My faith is not in man. My faith is not in whether this world is happy, sad, violent, or what, but my faith is in my Creator who created me and promised never to hurt me or harm me, that gave me a plan to prosper me, that told me that whatever I see, I can have faith because it's the evidence of things not seen. I know that my present situation is not who I am, so no matter if I'm a whore, no matter if I'm a drug dealer, doesn't matter what I am at this current state, I know this is not who I am right now, because God has created me to be better, and until somebody come and ignite my inside, the anointing that's on the inside of me for me to become full circle, then I am in a miserable world. I am in a deceitful world. I am in a sinful world. But now that when somebody say, Christy, that's not who you are. Yes. You are a woman of God. You are a woman of purpose. God has placed a purpose in your life. And once I start believing that, then now my whole life, my whole world and my view of the world has changed. Now I see things different. Behold, I am a new creature. All things are passed away. So we have got to remember that we came from something. Mm-hmm. We wasn't just born saved. We didn't just get here. We just didn't get anointed. We didn't become bishops and ministers just off of us just saying it. We went through something. Yeah. We went through the trials and the byways that got us to see, you know what, God, I've got to do it your way or die. Mm-hmm. So that's the world that we have. You have to understand that this is all going to pass away. You may see a traveler every now and then. Mm-hmm. You may see somebody on this road, you may not see nobody. But what that song say? I count it all joy.
Come on. Come on.
Because I know you didn't bring me this far to leave me. What Paul said, I'd have been in prison, I'd have been whipped, I'd have been hurt, I'd have been hungry, I'd have had no shelter, I'd have had no food, I'd have had no money, but I counted all joy and would do it again.
Yes, yes. That's good. That's good.
So we have to understand what world we're talking about. If you rule what world? You rule the world that's within you. Great is he that's on the inside of me than he that's of the world. We have to put in great context. Are we talking about this physical world that's going to pass away anyway, where you're trying to beg, borrow to have material gain that's not only going to last for a moment in time, rather worry about your soul, which is forever, and it's going to have a forever place, heaven or hell, and there's nothing in between? We have to stop focusing on the physical and start focusing on the spiritual world, the world that's going to last, the world that's going to be here, the world that we have no control in because it already has a leader, and that's Christ.
There you go. Good deal. Good deal. Rico, good morning, sir. Good morning. How you doing?
Man, Grand Rising, man. How y'all doing this morning, man?
Doing good. Doing good. Rico, we're asking a question.
Rico,
what's going on, Chris?
If this world were mine, Rico, that's a statement that you're making. If this world were mine, Rico, what would be different about this world? If this world was yours and you were the greatest of all time, you are the main nonchalant, you're the top of you're the shot caller. You're the shot caller. If this world were yours, Rico, what would be different about this world? What would you change?
If I had supreme power to affect impact other people, to have, I want to say, pretty much control of power to impact other people, to have a contribution on their livelihood, I would impact righteousness and equality and justice. I would make racism punishable. I would make equality and bias punishable. I would actually create deterrence to steer away from negative energy, because I already know that what bias can create. You know, I know the trickle down effect. I know what bullying can create. So I got to get rid of that aspect of bullying. That way, if you stop it from the beginning, then it can't trickle down into the judicial system. It can't trickle down into the education system. You can't have teachers or students or people in places of power that's being biased or unfair. I would probably be a communist. Wow. I would be a communist / socialist. You know, if you base it on the definition of what they truly mean, I would have that much control. I would have that much power. I would try to influence that much control to where people would be protected better. Parents would be held more accountable, not only for the well-being of their children, but what they're putting into their minds, the behavior, the training that they're giving them. You know, I put it to you this way. If I found out that some parent was out here teaching some child to be racist toward other people, they would be locked up. They would have their children taken from them, because in all of humanity can't stand that. See, I would rule based on a common humanity standpoint, where everybody would have to be protected and put on a level playing field. Yeah, capitalism would be agreed if you can be an inventor and if you come up with a way to capitalize and make money by providing a need that everybody wants, but you won't be able to monopolize. See, there are too many loopholes in this world that we have today. Too many loopholes in government and politics. But those loopholes can be sealed. They can be sealed, but people they're so worried about violating rights. Like, say for instance, right now, for New Year's, I saw a story where Miami South Beach was flooded with participants for New Year's. They were coming in from Detroit, they were coming in from Compton, California, and a lot of those people they were interviewing didn't have masks. I mean, and they were lit up and partying down there. So they interviewed Governor DeSantis and asked him, why didn't he want to shut down the state? And he put economy before life. He said that he didn't want to mess up the economy for small businesses. So he chose to keep the businesses open and risk life and health for the economy, namely these little rectangle squares with ink on them that only have a percentage of the value that they really say on the face.
Yeah.
He would rather keep that rotating than to protect the lives of people he's chosen to lead and represent. See, if they choose me as a leader and a representative, I'm gonna have to put my foot down and do something that the average person won't do, and that's think, use common sense, and judge for the best benefit of everybody, not for a corporate dollar.
Exactly. Toya with the T, talk to me, sis.
Wow, that just sent me in a whole nother perspective, because it's like, you know what? You are absolutely right. We have single-handedly trained everyone to put a mask on before their own well-being on their own. Before some of them make sure they step it up and be straight and narrow, whether it be breaking laws or, just doing the right thing in general. They've launched a campaign to get them to take the importance of this pandemic, which is very important, far above their everyday things. So, that just totally just sent me thinking into a whole nother level. But, hey, man, listen, I'm a firm believer that you have the absolute choice and opportunity to be what you want to. Like I said, I'm just going to provide you these services there. People are still allowed to make their choice. They can still do whatever. I wasn't raised to do half the things I've done. And when I decided to do some of those bad things, it ain't had nothing to do with nobody else. I just say, yeah, it was cause, but I made the conscious decision to do something that I knew was not good. You know what I'm saying? I rationalized with myself to make actions that I definitely knew wasn't of God. You understand what I'm saying? And there's no way that I can ever blame that on anyone else. You know what I'm saying? So as humans, we have to understand and take the responsibility for our own individual actions. And if we all just get in the same group and have the same like-minded tendencies, then we're going to click up and still commit those actions because we're human at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So I think that this discussion, again, just reminds me on how powerful we are as humans. And again, when I think of the Bible and the story of Jesus, the story of Adam and Eve, and the story of the power and the capabilities that we have that we watch before us, it again reminds me on why I got to be firmer in the Lord and tighten up and do what I'm supposed to do, man. Because there's a power. It's a power behind it, man. Like I gotta get to a point to where, all right, Lord, whatever it is that's not of you, and I know I ain't gonna be perfect, but even the world's a judgment. You know what I'm saying? Looking at somebody talking about who it ain't the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Being grateful for. Like there's a power all behind that I really need to understand. And just, the more that we have this conversation, the more that y'all really got me thinking. And I appreciate that now because it's like, you know what? It is what it is.
Yes.
And God still says He loves us all. You know what I'm saying? He didn't say He said everybody except the Buddhists, but the Buddhists, everybody except the Muslims, everybody except the very centurions that killed Jesus. You know what I'm saying? He said all, and that it really makes me reflect on, all right, what do I need to do to play my role, man? Behind we are individually that God gives us is so amazing, and if we just stop being sidetracked with all these other things and focus on what He has us to do, we'll probably be able to tap into it. And like we're doing right now, break some all across the world from different places because we're just letting Him do what He do, man. So I appreciate y'all so much for bringing y'all perspective.
Absolutely. Hey, to God be the glory. Absolutely. We got Goddess with us. Good morning, Goddess. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Good morning.
Goddess, I want to ask you the question. If this world were mine, this is you talking. If this world were mine, what would you do differently? How would you change it? What would you take out of it? And what would you add into it to make it a better place for everybody? If this world were mine, what would you do?
I would remove religion.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And people question why that, because due to religion, everybody has their own mindset, everybody has their own rules, regulations, and to the point where they like to point finger at everyone and everything, from the Christians pointing the finger to the Jews, from the Jews pointing the finger to the Muslims. You know, I think I would remove religion. I wouldn't remove God and have God as part of the universe. I would remove monies, where we had the old barter system. Everybody, you know, your talent was who you were, and so you would have to respect that individual. If you couldn't get,
I'm glad you said that, because you clean it up, you clarified it. I ain't gonna say clean it up. You clarified it when you say you would take out religion, but you would keep God. That's beautiful, because religion is the one thing that's killed more people of anything throughout history. Religion is the one thing that people don't understand, that has destroyed more places, more people, and more things than anything. So when you say that, you're going somewhere with that. So go ahead.
So back to my barter system, I think bartering builds respect. I think bartering also builds inner respect of who you are, because whatever you do, you're good at whatever you do for everybody to come to it, to do it. So bartering was always a key thing, and that made us great of the people who we were and who we are. Wow. So those are the key factors that I know that in racism, I think racism would is to the point where it's extreme now. I think that would definitely had to go, but I think once you remove religion, they probably would have removed a majority of the racism out there. So
that's good. That's good. Badger, talk to me, brother.
I am very much with Goddess on that. You know, I'm still learning to voice as much as some people would like me to. So I keep making the comment about Aboriginal teachings. How many people on this panel actually know what some of those are?
Explain it to them.
Well, I'm asking, like, do any of you guys know about it, or have looked into it, researched it, or anything?
I researched it, Badger. I researched the Aboriginal teachings. I also researched the Aboriginal teachings of America with the Indians, as well as the teachings of Matt from Kemet.
Cool. So when Aboriginals have been treated as savages or pagans in every single continent, the original inhabitants of Europe. I totally almost mispronounced that. Africa, Asia, Russia, Australia, the Americas, all across the world. Because a religion figured out how to control people and make an army. And they used that army to wipe out people. You know, and I've brought this up to some people, not you guys, but to other people. And when I would bring this up, they would go, well, if your connection to God was so strong, then how did we win? And they would rub that and they used that frame of thought to try to demoralize an individual's belief. So when I made the comment earlier, you know, a lot of natives have a really hard time being able to show or practice their belief in public. That's not a joke. They weren't allowed to do a pipe ceremony until the 80s. They had to fight the government to have freedom of religion, even though they have reses and sovereign land. they were not allowed, even on their own land, to practice their belief.
Mm-hmm.
So when you take that concept and then you start looking at other countries, it's all around the world. That's why I am so much about labels.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you aren't doing the research, how can you accurately use a label?
Mm-hmm.
To me, you're just preaching more hate or more judgment. When, how do you honestly know? Well, it's your personal experience. Okay. And part of your personal experience, how much do you know about that person's heritage or their teachings that were passed down to them because they don't know any better?
Mm-hmm.
So now people are classifying an entire race as the main evil source of all bad things. Well, isn't that a type of racism?
It very well could be. Absolutely. Absolutely. Go ahead, brother. You finish your thought. I'm gonna go to after you. I'm gonna go to Christy. Then I'm gonna go to Donald. Go ahead, finish your thought, brother.
So the point that I'm getting at is people talk about getting rid of racism and they talk about all these other things
Mm-hmm.
and talk about getting rid of hate. Then why speak it at all? You know, if that's something people are actually working towards, then why continue to speak it?
Well,
Because if
see, I'm with you, but my thing is, I differ in that. If a person is going through something and they're hurting in a certain way, I want them to be able to talk to me and to voice it to me so I can understand. If so you got there's a burn on your back, there's a burn on the back of your right shoulder, and you know you cover it up, you get dressed when you come out and everything, and I see you, and I say, hey Badger, how you doing? And I hit you on that burn, not knowing that it's there. Hey Badger, how you doing? I pat you on the back right there in that spot, and you grimace, and maybe I pay attention to it, maybe I don't. And then the next time I see you, next day I see you, I say, hey, Badger, man, good to see you again. Pat you on the back in that same spot and you grimace. You know, if you don't, for whatever reason, at a certain point in time, tell me that, oh, man, you got to stop. You got to stop hitting me on my shoulder right there, man, because, you know, I had a burn on my back. And because I had a burn on my back, every morning you hit me on the same spot and it causes me pain. If you don't tell me that, I don't know that. And so we have to open up the dialogue and talk about that. So now that you told me, now I know not to when I see you, not to hit you on your back, maybe shake your hand, something like that, because now you know I'm allowing that wound to heal. But if every day I come and I slap you on your back, hey man, what's going on? Bam, in that spot, and say I open it back up again. How do you heal?
In an instance in that manner, I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to certain other things, you know, I have a lot of confusion with some people's perception, and it's just, I mean, that's on me. But I'm open to it because I like to understand how other people view the world because that's how we learn.
Yeah, exactly. It's okay, and that's why we had a dialogue. That's why I love being able to have this dialogue with different people, man, and talking, because sometimes somebody, and I'm using you two because y'all on the stream. Sometimes people gonna agree wholeheartedly with you, Badger, and not agree with Rico. But then you got another group of people that's gonna agree wholeheartedly with Rico and not agree with you, Badger. And so I think we're speaking to everybody, and that's why that's why I think it's so beautiful. Let me go to Christy. Christy, what's on your heart? Christy, you there? I'm about to say it, Christy. I'm about to say it. Christy, wake up and go to sleep. Wake up and go to sleep. Tucson, talk to me, brother.
This is a question. I'm gonna be the question asker for a minute. Are we suggesting? And this is an open question.
Okay.
Are we suggesting war?
You lost me for a second. Why do you say war?
Of course I did. It's because, see, if there are some people that don't want peace. They want racism. They want bigotry. They want to be the big eye. They want to be to eliminate some while keeping others. So if this world were yours, then you have to go all the way to the beginning and start with the dirt or the darkness and do it all over again. Because if you're handed this world in its present condition, you're suggesting war. Does that make any sense?
It does. It does. I'm with you now. Yeah, I'm with you. How could
because
do you think
okay,
war,
do you think
Don, let me ask you this. Do you think war was a source of our process, our progress?
I don't know if you would call it progress. It derives, or it came, or it manifests through lust, through a desire to be, or to accomplish, or to overtake, or to rid yourself of something or someone because they don't think like you. It's a personal thing. I would almost say that personally, I have my own world. I live it. And it's up to me to fashion or yield to the fashion of the better or the worst of it. Does that make any sense? Because you're the only one you're in control of, halfway, partially, is yourself. Everybody else is a competitor or almost an opposite. Because nobody thinks exactly like you.
Yeah.
So if you're going to have to overtake somebody to get what you want.
Okay.
So that's war.
Exactly. Good deal. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Man, I agree with everything everybody been saying so far, man. Like you said, it's a bit and piece of truth in everything everybody been saying, like what Donald just said about, there being a war. And you asked the question, did we progress from it? Yeah, we progressed in a very dysfunctional way. We progressed in what the effect or the consequence was supposed to be because of what we adapted to. It was a way of life we adapted to. And also, that's why I said earlier when I first answered the question, if I had the power to control or impact others, because I feel like this world is mine. As far as whatever I got to interact with, who I got to interact with. I mean, if I come in contact with somebody that feel like they're better than me or feel like they can handle me a certain way, I make them act accordingly. This is my world. You might do this with somebody else. Try it with me.
Yeah.
See if you get the response that you like. I guarantee you won't. That we see if you gonna handle that hospital bill. So I mean, it's a matter of when you say if I could rule the world. There are some people that do pretty much rule the world in their own way because they can dictate or control what happens with others around them. Trump, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates. I mean, Trump pardoned some Blackwater people last week. They killed 17 people. I mean, and it was proven that they just flat out just murdered all these people, man. I mean, just used all kind of military force to kill these people. That's power. Unfair power. It's wrong what he did, but he had the power to do what he wanted to do. And it's sad that happened because there wasn't nothing righteous in that. But that can be corrected. Obama had power that he could have used. He didn't, now to try to be politically correct. Now we wish he would have, because look what Trump has done since he's been in power. So I mean, you know, I really love what God has said about, you know, I'm gonna say not completely getting rid of a religion, because those are different practices that people came up with. You know, we speak about Aboriginal rituals, and we want the Aboriginals to be able to continue practicing what they believe. Mm-hmm. You know, same thing with Christians. So I say not completely get rid of religion, but to take so much power away from it, or influence away from it. Mm-hmm. Keep it out of government. Mm-hmm. Keep it out of capitalism. There's so many different ways that you can sort of temper it down because of the impact that it does have, because it created a dysfunctional atmosphere within itself. And it's contradictory. I mean, ever since I first heard of the Crusades, I done had a funny feeling about the cross. I'm imagining people going out here killing in the name of Christ just because of these other people that don't believe in the same thing. I mean, completely. And it didn't happen once. It happened quite a few times. Mm-hmm. Just complete massacre and savagery on behalf of the cross. And that was their battle sign. That was a battle sign. I mean, so, you know, the true history of... Go ahead.
Religion and spiritual belief. Do you not separate those two terms?
I separate them. I definitely separate them. I did a show on that. I asked, did religion actually take away from science and spirituality? Mm-hmm. And I had a lot of response that day, because my thesis is this. This is my theory. I believe that people demonize voodoo, and actually we may be supposed to use some of the practices of voodoo, because if you think of earth sciences and herbs, they sort of line up. You know, when you start thinking about certain religions that come from Catholicism, like Santeria or whatever, they sort of line up. But by voodoo having a certain tint or color to the people that practiced it, it was demonized. Don't mess with that. The bad luck, you're gonna make zombies and all kind of, you're gonna get hoodooed, and people go all this different stuff that they put fear in us. And that was intentional, but on behalf of another religion. So we just take that completely away from it and just let people practice what they need to make them better people. If you need to become an atheist to become a better human being, I'm cool with it. But I don't want your atheism to determine what happens with this Christian or this Muslim, because they might be better people now since they found Christianity. This man might be a better person since he found Buddhism. And if it helps him become a better human being, then I don't want your religion to say that religion is less than or wrong.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And see, Rico, you put a lot out there, man, and even when you was talking about the voodoo and stuff like that, and one of the things that symbols that came to my mind when you was talking was in Badgerwood, voodoo or hoodoo, which is actually different things. Angel food cake and devil food cake is all perception, because some people will say that one is good and one is not bad, but you know, if you eat them, I mean, both of them pretty good. You know what I mean? But it goes back. I make joke, but it goes back to perception and perception. And we're certainly not telling anybody to not be Christian. We're not telling you to be Christian, but we're telling you to explore, and know what your options are. Me, I'm a Christian. That's who I am. And if I had my way, you would be as well. But I'm not gonna force it on you. One of my very close friends actually live in Singapore right now. He's an atheist. You know, he don't believe. We used to actually, before I started doing this, we used to do a show on what's that thing? What was that thing called? God, I can't think. It wasn't MySpace, but it was another platform. Google. It was on Google. Google. When they had the video platform on Google. Can't remember what it's called right now. Google Place or something like that. We used to do it. He and I used to do a show together. And at the end of the show, I used to always say, "God bless you" to him. And he said, "Raheem, you know better than that. Stop that, man." But he's a very good friend of mine, and I could call him today, and he's about to get married, and we'll have a very good conversation. We didn't allow my belief or his to alter the relationship that we had. I know where he stood. And I tell him all the time, you know, he's real smart. He actually worked for Comcast. Comcast sent him over to Singapore to start a organization or business or whatever over there. They sent him there to do that. That's who he is. But I say, man, and Erykah Badu said this in one of her songs. Most intellectuals don't believe in God. Most intellectuals don't believe in God, yet they fear us just the same. There's a lot of time.
It goes back to what Badger was saying a second ago. It's this label thing. Who said that good or righteousness had to belong to a certain label or group? That you had to be religious to be righteous or good, fair, or compassionate toward other human and respectful of life, every life or all life. Who said that you had to associate that with a religion? Like I said, if it takes Islam for you to get some direction, cool. If it takes Christianity for you to get some focus and direction, cool. I don't need all that to tell me to love and have compassion and to want to treat people the same way I want to be treated, and to know that when they are in pain that they got to hurt because I know what pain feels like. I don't need that to know what's right and what's wrong. You get what I'm saying? But some people need that, and I applaud that. But I would take the power away from it, the power that the Catholic Church has to hide and retain information and decide what we're gonna know and what we aren't gonna know, and to have so much power and government influence. That ain't right. Not from the Catholic Church. Not when y'all sitting up here messing with these kids and these children too, and we know about it, and then y'all still got this privilege and this access to power.
See, the thing about it, I think, and I've been feeling this way for a while now, but I really feel like the time is near where everything is going to be revealed, and it's going to be a very rude awakening to some people. It's going to be a very rude awakening. I tell people all the time, I'm not religious. I'm not a religious person, but I am, and I specify I'm a Holy Ghost filled spiritual person. Holy Ghost filled spiritual person, because and they say alcohol is a spirit, and so we're not talking about that kind of spirit. There's all kind of spirits out there. When people say to me, they say, well, I'm spiritual. And I ask them a question: what spirit are you talking about? What spirit do you mean? We got another caller. Caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
Who you talking to? 816?
816. Yep. Did you just watch this? Did you just call in?
No, I called in about 3 or 4 minutes ago.
Well, I believe you the last one then. I believe that must be K with the E. They got to be K with the E right there, because she giving me a hard time this morning. They got to be K with the E. It can't be nobody else but K with the E giving me a hard time this morning. Can't be nobody else. What's up, sis? How you doing?
Oh, I'm blessed. How's everyone doing?
Doing good. Sis, I want to ask you this question. If this world were mine, this is you talking, if this world were yours, how would you change it? What would you take out? What would you add in? What would be the difference in the world as we know it today?
Man, if this world was mine,
she about to go in.
I'm telling y'all, I would start with business, people that got these business, because they got the employees and employers. So I would start with them. They would have so many laws and restrictions, and when I tell y'all we couldn't help but to love one another, the first person I catch not getting along, you're going to have to go do this. I ain't going to suspend you or fire you. You'll be cleaning some walls or something. But as grown as you are, you don't love a person, you can't get along, you got to go over there and hug that person and stand in a corner. Oh, I wish this world was mine.
Lord,
I tell y'all, if this world was mine, it'll just be more love. That's all it really takes, is more love and understanding. And if you don't like a person, you don't got to fool with a person. Go over there with the crew you like. Don't hang around with people you don't like. Exactly. If people do something you don't like, you don't got to hang over there. Go hang somewhere else. You don't got to submit yourself to unhappiness. That just doesn't make sense to me. And everybody tell me, you just smile all the time, no matter what you're going through. Because at the end of the day, y'all, God is the reason I breathe.
Yes.
God is the reason I use the bathroom. God is the reason I can go in there and take a shower. People always say, God this, God that. When y'all learn that you can't do nothing without him, you can go apply for 10 loans. And if you don't do right with your first one, why would God bless you with another one? You could go get you a big old house. If you don't do right with that house, it ain't gonna last forever because you ain't doing right. God don't bless mess. If they can learn that, everybody will be all right.
That's good. That's
simple.
good.
That's simple.
Toya with a T, talk to me, sis.
But that's just it. I feel like this. That's why I keep saying I'm gonna provide what we need, because I feel like this. You got every right to be a racist. That's free will. If you got every right to not like me, you got every right to go get in the group for the clique and believe in what y'all believe in and heebie-jeebie jabba and whatever it else is too. That's your own free will, absolutely. But what you ain't got to do, what the right to do, is bring that over here and impose on me. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm with my God. I get it from everybody's world perspective. Yeah, this is my world. What do I do with it? But what I don't want to do with it is make it seem like my religion.
I think we lost Toya. I think we lost her there for a second.
She gonna come back, and I can finish that. She don't want nobody to think her religion is better than yours. I feel that.
That's good. That's good. Good. Too smart. Talk to you, brother. God is getting ready to come to you next.
Yeah, I mean I think that she was on point with that, because we want to create clones for people to think like us, because we think we're right. We think we are in the predicament or in a place.
What I know what's best for you, and so because I know what's best for you, this is what you have to do. You got to do it this way right here. I know what's best for you. I walked down that walk before. I see where you're about to go. I know what's best for you. So you're gonna do what I want you to do, because that's what it is. Because I know what's best for you. Now, what do you say to that person?
You'll be a dictator, right? So you're a dictator, almost.
Yes, sir.
Or I think that if this world were mine, I would put us in darkness again. And I would make us all the same color.
Wow. But wouldn't the person still find a way to separate and divide? Maybe now it's the color of clothes that you wear. It's the kind of shoes that you have on. It's the way you do your hair. You don't belong in our group because you don't do your hair like we do. You don't comb your hair like we comb our hair. So won't man always come up with some kind of way or some kind of reason to separate, even if we was all the same colors?
So here's the thing that and that's just me. God desires, I would almost say, for us to have a renewed mind. If we could only get our mind right and our heart right, I think a lot of our issues would compare. We would have respect for one another, regardless of whether you were Muslim, Buddhist, or Christian, or just whatever. You would just, I mean, if we would have a different mindset, a renewed mind, to know that every one of us have a little God in us, whether we even are atheists.
That's good.
Because see, now you may be in denial, but you can't deny it or him. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. God has talked to me, sis.
Well, y'all spoken a lot, but I'm gonna go all the way back to I believe Donald Toussaint said go all the way back to the beginning. Well, if you go all the way back to the beginning, it didn't start with Adam and Eve. You go all the way back to the beginning when God cast Lucifer out of heaven. So now you're not talking about man. You're talking about his most powerful, prideful angel that he designed.
Come on.
They wanted all the attention. They wanted everything. So do we so it's not at our choice to choose on that behalf, because Lucifer caused havoc down here on earth. And he wanted to be like God. And the reason why I chose religion is because religion is one of the most powerful things that have changed man to make it feel like he is like God. They're right now trying to develop all different types of strands of things to kill us, but yet and then they're trying to develop the same strand of something to protect us. Like, where did that mentality come from? That's crazy. You develop HIV, you develop SARS, you develop COVID, you developed all these things to kill us because you wanted to act like God.
Population control.
Yeah, I mean, we understand it's population control, but who are you to act like God?
Exactly.
Who are you to be like God? Now, we're going to take it even a little bit deeper. They got it now. They got men that can have babies.
Not me.
They got where they can make babies now. So
you say have babies.
Right. I think religion is a key source of it. Religion is a key source because once you get into religion, you forget about the spiritual realm. The spirit and I say the spiritual realm would be the universal law, the respect for the Mother Earth.
That's good. That's good. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
Man, a lot is normal. America was founded, and the government was founded and started with Christianity. That's why there's a lot of people that are not for certain things. From the religion this government started. And through that religion, people were killed, put into slavery, and all kinds of things through religion. And you can take that concept and apply it to what the Roman Catholics and the Jews did, to the Israelites, to the Egyptians, to all around the world. Someone thought that their belief or organized religion was better than someone else's. They were infidels or whatever terminology, or less than, and they used that to try to mentally affect them to think they were less than.
Okay.
So, but once again, it brings about the fact of labels. That's why labels are, to me, one of the biggest causes of all the problems we have. You know, like there was a native that literally just grabbed his lighter and went, "What is this?" And I thought about it because I knew it was a trick question. And I went, "It is. It's that. Like, that's what it does. We gave it a name. We put a label on it."
Yeah, exactly. And somebody said, all men that want to start having babies, knock yourself out. Go for it.
No, thank you.
Nah, I'm good on that. You know,
I don't see how any man could handle that level of amazing journey that a woman can do.
Yeah,
we're just not built for it. We don't have the brain, the body. No,
And let me go around that. Now you said no, Badger. Rico, would you want to endure that journey? Okay. He ain't say a word, but that facial expression and the body language answered it for me. Toussaint. I'm asking all the fellas because I'm gonna tell you straight up and down. No, I can't. No. Toussaint, what do you say?
You talking about singing soprano?
Lord.
No, sir.
Hey, I thank the women. I thank the women because I couldn't. No. Kate, talk to me. What's on your heart?
I just want to ask y'all, how do y'all feel when y'all have a toothache?
Terrible.
Then that's labor pain. You know what the difference is?
What's that?
You can't breathe that toothache. You can't breathe the toothache pain down, but you can breathe labor pain down. I'd rather have labor pain. I'd rather have labor pains than a toothache any day. Any day.
Take that back. No. Yeah. Nah, almost a 10-pound baby. No.
You can breathe labor pains away. You can't breathe toothache pains away. And the toothache pain gonna last you until you get that tooth out. The labor pain only gonna last you some hours and then they over. That toothache pain is forever.
You might be feeling that way if you're going through a toothache right now. I know I done said that plenty of times before too. As I'm going through the toothache, but I done said it's the worst pain I've ever had in my life. Then I go through some other pain and I say the same thing.
In my life.
You say, which is the worst pain? You say you have 5 kids. Now, which is the worst pain? You said toothache is the worst pain?
That toothache.
Worse than childbearing?
It's what?
Worse than childbearing?
Childbearing is I can handle that. I can handle that. I have 5 kids. Goddess could feel a different way because she got 1. I got 5. I can handle that birth bearing. I can't handle a toothache. I cannot handle a toothache. I've been to the dentist at 3 a.m. Please, I will pay you. Come get this tooth out my mouth. I had emergency surgery at 3 a.m.
Wow. See, God said, I done felt that pain. I ain't going through that no more. I would not. I don't care who you are. Yeah, I love you. I would not go through that. Not another again. Not another again. That's just. But see, and see, that's the thing right there. But and I hope people are not missing what's being said right now, because everybody goes through and deal with different situations differently. Everybody deal, and see, Kate, she said that having a toothache was the worst pain that she ever felt in her life. And now you got a goddess that's saying no, give me a toothache. I'd rather have a toothache than to having to push this child out. No. And see that, and that's where we are, and that's the beauty of it. Everybody have their own experiences. But I'm gonna tell you one thing that's across the board that all the men agreed on: we ain't having no babies. Rico, talk to me. We ain't pushing out nothing.
There's one saying that affected me more than anything, especially when it comes to Christianity. The most powerful saying I ever heard in my life, and I think it can stretch across the board. What would Jesus do? Because everybody know what the story of Jesus is and know his benevolence and how he felt. He was just the perfect, kind human being, perfect, compassionate human being from what the story tells us about him. I don't know him personally to be able to say this, but from what I understand, if every person was like him, then the world would be so much of a better place. So, I listen to Farrakhan, and Farrakhan actually references Jesus a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
He said that we should walk in the image of Jesus, walk like Christ. I mean, he acknowledges him. That's straight appreciation across the board from another religion to one religion to another. And some people can't fathom that. They can't picture that, him referencing Christianity like that. But to me, the truth is the truth. So if you can use Jesus as an excuse and use that quote, it's something to live by, man, it can have so much impact on everything that you do throughout the day, every day from this day forward. So, I mean, that's one of the most powerful sayings that I ever heard in my life. But we human beings can complicate things so much, like with labels. Labels were meant to simplify things and to make things more convenient, but then they complicated things. and make things more complicated. So I hear the question and then I hear the answers, and then I'm like, man, how are we overlooking ending world poverty? How are we overlooking there would be no third world countries in existence if I ruled the world? You know, there would be no children in poverty. There would be no vulnerable children needing adopting. You get what I'm saying? It's so many different things that if a person from a third world country or living in poverty was listening to us, they'd be like, man, you know what? Y'all talking in a whole different reality. What about us?
Yeah, exactly.
So we complicated it and went to talking about wars. You know what I'm saying? But now we could talk about war, because if I did rule the world, I would prosecute people that develop nuclear bombs. Who would think to develop something so destructive to human beings?
What's the purpose?
So why even allow that mindset to go through, just for the fact that you even conspire to create something so destructive? I would have you locked up. You know, but see, we avoid those simple things, and that's really our situation. That is really what's going on with us to this day, and something we ignore those things.
The picture that we're painting in that situation right there is our level of selfishness. Really, it's our level of selfishness, because, you know, we never considered the third world countries or the countries that need. We never consider the people that has the diseases that if we rule the world, we can get rid of those diseases. We never considered that. We never considered the young ladies that's been abused and stuff like that. We never considered them. The young guys that's been abused, we never considered them. We start talking about the really truth of the matter. And I've been sitting here listening to the conversation. We harboring so much on the material aspect of it, and not the physical, and not the personal or the. We touched a little bit on the spiritual, but not totally the spiritual part of it, because the real spirituality of it, the God spirituality of it, we want to make sure that everybody's fine. We want to make sure everybody walk in a certain amount of harmony. We want to make sure that everybody have that peace, not just ourselves. You know, how selfish is it that we just want that peace for ourselves? What like, and I see it, y'all hear me say it all the time, like Michael Jackson said, who am I to see the children crying in the street? Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their needs? There's a need. And if we rule the world, we can address that need and make sure that we take care of that particular need. Toya, talk to me.
And that's right, man. I'm all for that. You know, I'm all for the people. You know, and I remember living a life operating out of hurt, wanting to not be that person that's for the people, wanting to refrain certain things from certain people that actually it stemmed from hurt. You understand what I'm saying? And because I felt entitled to a specific access of something, then other people should not, because they had not accomplished or achieved or went through what I went through. You know, and through the grace of God, being delivered from that hurt, I feel differently. I love differently now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, let me be a billionaire to help others. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just about me now.
Yeah.
I want to even the playing field. You understand what I'm saying? And when I think about it again, I think about that Cain and Abel syndrome. You understand what I'm saying? Just because you just who you are, whether you believe in God or not. Okay, let's just say you're perfect. You decide to do everything. You just did the right thing. Okay, fine. Okay. So now here I come, and I want to be bad. But because God loves me as much as he loves you, you want to get mad and murder me. You understand what I'm saying? We need to take personal responsibility for the actions we make. You want to murder them because what? God loves him just like he loves you? Because he said he loves us all. And because, you not doing the same thing I'm doing, and because you get his love too, I need to kill you. But we're not supposed to be stealing each other's blood. You understand what I'm saying? And then we don't understand the precedent we set, because that's God's business. I need to use my energy operating on my destiny, not on what you should and shouldn't be doing and what the Lord told me. I need to be worried about what the Lord told me and how I can get it done, and not what you got going on, truth be told, but to still love you, even if God didn't tell you to do the same thing that I did. You understand what I'm saying? No matter how gritty or dirty. So I just thank the Lord that there is a omnipotent God, you know, because oftentimes as a human, I I'm going to get selfish and I'm going to make it my way. I'm going to make it the way that I see fit.
Come on.
And just because I think I can use my pinky toe, don't mean that it's not imperative to I am as a human being. Like we always second guess some of the little things because, but only God does.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand what being molested meant to me. But when I tell you, I got such a strength, man, and just overcoming, just carrying that, just being delivered from that, I feel like, yeah, I can carry the world. I can't be stopped. And even though I didn't see it then, I see it now, and how it works to my good. You know, so I just thank the Lord that He allows us to operate out of our own wants and desires, and He allows us to see our wrongs and still make a decision to say, you know what, Lord, you can have the wheel back. I'm good. I thought I was ready to drive, but I was just playing. So, you know.
I ain't
dialogue, y'all.
I ain't ready. Look, I ain't ready. I ain't even ready. I ain't even ready.
I just playing. Right. I just playing.
Look, I ain't even ready. I thought I ain't even ready. Badger, talk to me, brother.
Oh man. I'm still learning words for what I'm trying to relay or point out, because I don't want anyone to take me as like I'm bashing any particular religion or anything of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
You know, most of the things I say has come through research and observation.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it is personal experience, but I work really hard at not letting it skew or alter my words to be judgmental.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather state fact than be judgmental.
Mm-hmm.
So like for me, when it comes to the Bible, I want to be able to decipher and read the Bible as in the oldest language I can possibly comprehend, to alleviate the potential of certain things or certain words being miscued or misused. I think that'd be a better term.
Mm-hmm.
It goes to me, people in power, it's usually the winners who write history.
Mm-hmm.
And the untold stories of the people who lost these wars are rarely ever told. So you have to go searching for them. And that's why when I mention what I mentioned about the world, I'm also a believer that if you take out hate and racism and all that, we lose a lot of what's made us who we are today. That's helped us get to on the path that we are on. So if those things existed, would we still have the potential to be on the path that we're on? And have the same deep understanding that we do.
I think and again, you know, difference of opinion is beautiful, but I think we will be a lot more advanced had hate not been a part of what we're trying to do, or trying to I think we will be because I think we will have worked more hand in hand. I think we'll work more hand in hand, and because a lot of opportunities has not been given because of hate and the way that one person deem another person. They can look at this person and I'm not gonna give it to them because they look this way. They don't.
Interesting.
They when they brush their teeth, they go they circle to the right, not to the left. And so I don't like them. I'm not gonna give them the opportunity. Sounds very simple, but people hate different people for different reasons, and it could be and a lot of times it's not really based on all the time the color of their skin.
Agreed.
Sometimes
people a person could hate you and they could look just like you, but they could hate you just because. I don't like that. Man, look at that. Every time he walk in this room, he smiled. I can't stand that joker.
I never thought of it like that. Yeah. That's actually that's a very cool way to look at that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because a lot of and to God be the glory, brother. A lot of time it has nothing to do with the skin, the pigmentation in the skin. Sometimes, you know, a person could walk in a room and you could look at that person and we all have done it to one degree or another. We're to go to goddess, but you could look at that person, not know them, first time seeing them. It's something about that person I just don't like. Well, what? What is it? God is, well, you know.
But is that judgment or is that feeling something?
And being totally transparent is wrong, because now you put this person in a category that they should not be in. I'm getting feedback from somebody's mind. Somebody just put us on speaker. Take us on speaker because it's coming back and forth. Okay, and what it is it's wrong, and we can put it in a nice little category, but it's wrong because now you put that person in a situation, whereas you know you could hurt that person or hurt the whole cause just because of your personal feelings. Take your personal feelings out of it, man. Let's not deal with your personal feelings. Let's get the task at hand. What we're trying to accomplish. God, is what's on your heart.
Wow, I get done like that a lot. People prejudge me.
Yeah.
Before I open my mouth, people prejudge me based off my looks, based off how you dress. People prejudge me before anything, but also it can be also a spirit that you carry. I mean, it could be also a spirit that you carry. Depends on the room that I walk in. If I'm around jovial people and that person is just a happy person, I never have problems. Like my spirit is just so, I'm a people person, as people would say. I get along with pretty much everybody. But you can walk into certain rooms and people are pre-expect who you are before you even speak. I get done like that a lot, you know, and probably others do too. But I think it's also, I can say both ways where I've also judged others before when they've walked in the room or whatever. But 9 times out of 10, I was right. And I wish I would have stuck with my actual spirit feeling. Or it's been where people have warned me about somebody else and I probably didn't listen. I didn't listen until I started seeing some of their ways, because I don't like to judge people based off of how you perceive that individual or what that individual, what took place with you all, because you might treat me a little bit different. And my mom was one of the main things. She would, in the neighborhood, she would go to the person who was the one that broke in all the houses, the biggest criminal on the block. Look, I'm getting ready to leave out of town. I need you to watch my house. She would go to the biggest criminal on that block. Don't let me come back and something happened in my house, or I'm coming over here. So, heck, it's been over 50 years. I think that we had this house. And we still like that. God bless him. Thank you, Lord Jesus. And I think that man is dead and gone, but we still ain't had nobody break in. So, I mean, I don't know. I think your spiritual aura is a key factor. And your spiritual aura could mean you glow so bright that other people feel like they can't shine. Or other people become very upset behind that or jealous behind that, however key word you want to use. So I have listened to Viola when she spoke on stage. She said, I'm not dimming who I am no more. I'm gonna continue being who I am. I'm not gonna water down myself to make you feel better.
Yes. And this is something I say all the time. Let me see. I'm trying to see. Now, see that was Goddess line. Goddess got that thing on speaker, so we get some feedback from her when I say something. So, Goddess, we're gonna get on you later. Okay, but Toy, I'm coming to you, and I'm gonna say this right here. When you walk into a room and a person don't like you, sometimes it could be the God that's in you that's just irritating the heck out of the demon that's in them. And because of that reason, the God that's in you is irritating the demon that's in them. They can't stand you. But it's not you, it's the God that's in you that's irritating them so much that you make them uncomfortable. What do you say to that?
I think that's absolutely true. And I think because we don't understand a lot of ourselves and our feelings and who we are, we're not able to identify it as such. Because we don't really even talk about and think and acknowledge that these things are spirits and stuff and people and demons and stuff and people. So no, we don't think about that, but absolutely, I think that's what that can be, especially if the person has followed all of the positive guidelines that they're supposed to. They walk in, they say hello, good morning, and a nice attitude. You know what I'm saying? There are things that come with why you can't stand people. You understand what I'm saying? And if they are not operating out of negative ways, they meet all those points. At that point, it's just you and whatever you got in your head, and you don't want to acknowledge the jealousy that's really underlining that. You know what I'm saying? So absolutely, it could be. Hey, let me tell you something. I love when I irritate people because I'm the demon slayer. I like to call myself that because I know that I love people. I know I put my life up for somebody. You understand what I'm saying? You're not gonna do nothing to nobody while I'm around, if you got a pistol or not. Like super gangster over here, but I'm not gonna just be willy-nilly, you know what I'm saying? Abusing my love that I have for people to put myself in messed up situations. But absolutely, them demons get irritated, and we need to know how to recognize them and how to be able to counteract with them.
Exactly. Rico, talk to me, brother.
We'll go back to what Badger was saying earlier. I think he was sort of hinting on that sometimes hate is good. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, and I sort of agree with that because I went in the chat group and I said that, sometimes hate is good because it motivates you to go against bad things like the hate for greed, the hate of infidelity, the hate of cheaters, of child molesting, statutory rape. Just so many bad things that we can have a hate for that motivates good. We can hate with the mindset of what Hitler did, and learn from history and know that mindset he had was so hated that we'll never repeat that again. So I can understand where he was saying that sometimes hate is needed.
Because if hate wasn't supposed to exist, why did God allow it?
Well, I ain't going that far. I'm just saying that it's good that we hate people like him. Now maybe that was God's purpose to bring him along so we could see somebody like him and teach us a lesson of how we should be more humane. I don't know, but I feel like, the hate that we have for people like that, or hate for, like I said, greed and murder and crime, that is a good thing because we create deterrence to prevent those things from happening to other people that may suffer from that. But what y'all was talking about people not liking you because of the energy that you exhibit or your aura or your presence. That power does that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I used to have a problem wondering why people didn't support me sometimes. I'd be like, man, I could say something and people will ignore it or dismiss it, and then somebody else will say it and they'll go right back and repeat it and they'll take off.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is that going on? And why is it that I got so many people that talk negative about me? But then, I realized by watching other people, there were some people that would come in the room and they just lit up the room, and I was intrigued by them. I could respect the fact that they just had that it factor. I don't know what it was. It may have been a smile, it may have been charm, and so many different characteristics and things that made them so charismatic and so big that when they walked in the room that you can respect it and appreciate that, and it draws some people to them. But then I heard other people whisper Why they like him so much?
Yeah.
Why they like her so much? And I realized then, you know what? They hating what they lack. Yep. They hating that they don't have that attention. They don't have that charisma. They don't have that intellect. Some people hate intellectual people. I have problems now. Sometimes when I walk in a room, people will tell me they ain't got time for that today because they know they fixing to hear a debate if they talking stupid. They fixing to hear some intellect if they talking stupid. You know, and now it gets to a point where I'm comfortable with that because I know that people they don't really have it against you. They really have it against themselves that they are not on your level. Now, some people, you know, you can sense, you know, those Jezebel spirits. You can sense that spirit of opportunism. You know, some people walk in the room looking for a way to capitalize, and you know it. You know, man, you know what? They're con artists. They ain't in here for the right reason. They're in here to see what they can get out of everybody. So there's nothing wrong with that. You know, we are supposed to have the gift of discernment.
Exactly. Toussaint, talk to me.
I'm just trying to figure out what we're gonna get rid of. So I'm listening.
I tell you what we're gonna get. I tell you one thing we're gonna get rid of, and Donna, and I want you to hear my heart when I say this, man. We're gonna get rid of that fruit cake that the people give each other for Christmas time. We're gonna get rid of that, man. We don't need that right here, man. we don't need that fruit cake, man. I ain't never seen nobody eat that fruit cake and say this is good.
And deep.
Exactly.
And deep.
There you go. That's a door stopper, brother. That's a door stopper.
I like these.
See that? We still got a problem. War. That means war. Yeah. What about self will? And when he was talking, I put it there because if we have to go back to the beginning of our allowed choices to make our own decisions. When God put us here, we had the will to do our own thing. He's not going to force us to be this or be that. We have self-will. That's why some are believe this and some believe that. It's self-will. So I don't know, man. I don't have too much to say on this one because you have to go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
And recreate and make your choices. And your choices are never going to be better than the choices of Almighty.
Exactly. Never. Exactly. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Cassandra, calling from Atlanta.
The Thug Pastor. My first time saying it in 2021. The Thug Pastor. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
I'm well, thank you.
I want to ask you a question. If this world were yours, Cassandra, if this world were mine, this is you talking, what would you make different about this world? What would you take out? What would you add in? And how would you make it a better? If this world were yours, Cassandra, what would you do?
I think my biggest thing and my first thing would be to make truth mandatory. You have to, the truth has to be told no matter what. And I would, well, I won't even say, because, you know, it's so cliche to say, make everybody love each other. No, you can't make people love people. I mean, to me, that's not even genuine. So I think my thing is that the truth would be prevalent, and we would walk in it no matter what the consequences. No matter what the consequences, everybody would have to tell the truth.
Wow. Everybody have to tell the truth, but would they have to deal with their own truths?
That's it. That's it. You would have to deal with your own truth, whatever that is. And that is what would be so powerful, I think. But the great thing is you would know the like right now what we have is a lot of lying going on. So if you had to hear, that person had to tell the truth per se, we wouldn't be in the predicament that we're in right now. I feel like truth has gone out the window. So that's why I'm saying that.
Good deal. Good deal. Goddess, talk to me, sis.
Well, I think I'm gonna pass on this one. I'm just gonna meditate on some things that we've been said. Give me a minute. I'm gonna meditate on some things. Sometimes I don't think truth is always good at times for everybody, because people can't deal with the truth. And
but see, how much of an issue is that if a person can't deal with their own truth? If they can't deal with their own truth, how other people?
Because everybody's truths might be something different.
But see,
everybody's truths might be something different. My truth might be, yeah, I spilled that water, but really you made me spill that water. That's my truth. But that other person's truth might be something totally different. You set that water down there for me to make you spill that water. So the truth can be changed, and unfortunately, we're seeing that in today's world.
Guys, let me say this. I'm gonna mute your line because we don't have the background noise. But I don't think the truth is something that is interchangeable, and I think that may be a part of what I'm hearing. Excuse me, hearing right now. That you're saying the truth, okay, you're gonna say this truth, and then the water's there, then they truth, you put the water there for me to spill it, and then you're gonna. The truth is not. I don't think the truth is something that's interchangeable right there, based on the situation. I think the truth is the truth. The glass is on the table. The glass was spilled. You wait. The glass was, whether I put it there or not. The truth is the glass is on the table. The truth is the water the glass was tilted over. Truth is the water spilled on the table. The truth is the water is running across the table. And if we don't do anything right now, it's going to stain. It's going to go on the floor. That's the truth. Now I think we can put other things, other elements in there to dress it up a little bit, but the truth is there's only one truth, and that's why I say all the time there's only one truth. I like to tell it. What is the truth? What's the truth?
Well, she's still telling two truths in that. I get what she's saying. There may be a situation where somebody intentionally put that glass there for you to knock it over. That may be true. The other truth is that you weren't paying attention to it.
But at the end of the day, the absolute truth is that the glass on the table was spilled.
Facts.
Yeah, and see, and hold on, let me go back. Let's go ahead.
Okay, well, the reason why I say that is here today we're dealing with a lot of truths. We're dealing with officers that we know for sure shot unarmed Black men, and they're not being adjudicated correctly. In no way, no forms. So whose truths are we looking at? We know for sure that they didn't have a gun. We know for sure that this officer shot him in the back. We know for sure that Breonna Taylor was in her house. We know for sure that they wrongly did what they wrongly did. But all of them are not being prosecuted. This should not even be a questionable situation on that. So whose truths are we looking at?
See, and that's a whole musical, like I said, I want to say feedback sound. See, that's a whole different alley. That's a whole different alley right there that we'll have to travel down in order to get to at the end of the road. That's where truth lives. At the end of the road, that's where truth lives. And so a lot of people are afraid to travel that path. But in order to get to the truth, you got to go through some situations. You got to deal with some situations. You got to pull back some layers. And not everybody, again, is willing to pull back those layers and to expose themselves, the situation, their family, what happened at that particular time, what didn't happen, what they did not do, what they should have done. It's a lot of things that goes into getting to the absolute truth. Badger, talk to me. Oh, hold on, Badger, you're muted. There you go. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. You know, on the topic of truth, you know, based on the teachings that were passed on to me, you're supposed to respect every part of creation, no matter what it is. Even though you can greatly dislike something that's being done, you can choose how you handle that situation based on how you personally feel. But at the same time, you have to be respectful and thankful for the lessons in those moments. Trying to figure out a example. If I see a hate crime happening, it's not my job to judge that person. However, I'm going to do my best to defend that other person because that's how I feel to do things. And I'm going to tell that person that I understand you may believe or think the way that you do, but that doesn't mean you need to be bringing it over here, because what has this personal individual done to you to make you do what you're doing? So to me, everything is very situational. And the reason that person is doing what they're doing is because of their upbringings, in my personal opinion. And therefore, back to like something Donald brought up, was you have to go all the way back to the beginning. I'm working really hard at trying to figure out how to word what I've got in my head and on my heart. I'm still learning how to talk about this stuff because I lack a lot of words.
You're doing good.
But that's not me saying that I agree with them or nothing of the matter. To me, I'm respecting that individual's part of creation, acknowledging that just maybe the light or the candle, the flame or whatever has not been lit in them yet. So by my actions and how I handle that situation has the potential to spark that flame.
Okay.
So that's why I brought up, the topic of, God allowing hate, because I through my teachings and stuff that has been passed on to me, hate is just as much a part of creation as love is.
Let me ask you, what if and I'm gonna stay with where you are right now, where you say God created hate. And what if one of the reasons why he did create hate was to show the person that's hating how evil they could be, to reveal that to them?
That's what I'm trying to get at. Thank you.
Okay. Good deal. Let me go back to my phone lines here. Let me go to who we got here. Toussaint, talk to me, brother. Toya, come to you next.
It almost suggests that what would have to happen is that we would have to crucify Christ again. Because he came to straighten a lot of what we're talking about out. Because we had God in the flesh. Revealing
I'm about to ask you a question, Donald, and I know your heart. Okay, now you say it sounds as though we almost got to crucify Christ again, and to have to crucify him again, that will mean there certainly is a process that will have to happen to do that. But are we saying in a roundabout way that the first time was in vain because we've gotten back into a terrible place that we was in before?
No.
That was a question. There was a question. I'm the question asker.
No, but I'm saying that we don't want to be fixed. We don't submit to righteousness. We we submit to self-righteousness.
Mm-hmm.
We go back to putting even him in our frame of mind to, if this world were mine, I would make God think like me.
Wow.
And perhaps it would be better. And something's wrong with that mentality.
With our miniature mindset, we want to have God to think like us. Wow. Toya, what's on your heart?
Yeah, he hit the nail on the head with that. I absolutely agree.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we try to do. But at the end of the day, you can go ahead and put it in the back. At the end of the day, God gonna have us do what we do. Absolutely, the Lord allow hatred. Didn't He say that He hardened the Pharaoh's heart? Because when we try to go through that wilderness, sometimes we don't listen, and you need something on your butt to chase you and get you up through there. Kind of something like what Badger said earlier.
Sometimes you gotta heat the bottom up.
You might need that. Yeah, you might need that heat to get up and rise. And I say just like, I hate to have to say it, my folks right now, we needed them to take us through these things in order for us to rise up and be who God said we're gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe we forgot. Maybe we lost them along the way. I don't know. But I believe that in this moment, with all of these things going on, we don't need no more.
Yeah.
We done seen enough. And I think that is going to cause an action, and make a ripple for our race, even though there is one race. We're just talking about, us right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to make significant changes for our generations. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Humans started to declassify us and say, like she said earlier, I don't want to, I like to worship all day, and you only going to worship once a day or whatever. You need to be able to get with other people that feel and agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But again, if you start to impose and want to be violent, start killing people, start downing people in a negative light, that's where the problem comes in at.
Exactly. We're going to this order right here. We're going Kay, Cassandra, and Rico. Kay?
Well, I'm going to go back to when they said you walk in the room and people do that. I get a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like God has said, I get a lot of that. I'm 58 and I have granddaughters. My oldest is 22. They do my hair. I don't do my hair. They do it. And I might have a 18-year-old hairstyle, let somebody else tell it. But I might have on an outfit that they think, you 58, why are you dressing like that?
Mm-hmm.
You don't buy my clothes. I have actually had people to say this to me. You don't buy my clothes.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you worried about what I got on? And I just it's just crazy how people can be. And this one guy said, I thought you was 40. I said, I'm a blessed 58, soon to be 59. So people do that. When I first seen Goddess, I said, she look like somebody I need on my team. I ain't never looked at a person and said, I ain't feeling her. I always give you a chance, and until you rub me the wrong way, now that I know, people can say whatever they want to say. I have my own opinion about people.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to go see them, get with them, be with them, and then you have to rub me the wrong way. And if you do the same thing to me that you did to somebody else, I ain't going to just walk away. I'm going to tell you. Hopefully you won't do it to the next person.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to tell you. You did just what they said you was going to do. I gave you an opportunity, and you just had to be right. You just had to prove them people right.
Mm-hmm.
Then they want to know, what, KK? Well, such as, and I'll tell them.
Mm-hmm.
And I have never said something that I will not repeat. So I tell people, if you don't want nobody to know something, don't tell me. Because I'm going to tell them, hey, she don't like you. You did this, you did that, and we in a circle together. I don't like mess, so we can't come in the circle together, and she done wronged you, but we still in the circle. She need to up to her wrong and apologize or move on. Because if she wronged you and we in a circle, we ain't going to progress.
Mm-hmm.
Because we got one bad apple in there.
Wow.
So if we can't cut that small cut off and keep it moving, then we need to get that apple out the bunch.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Cassandra?
Yeah. Really quickly, I wanted to go back to what we talked. I said the truth is what I think that we need more than anything else right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
I want us to remember the things that God said that He hates. If you look at that, that would literally clear up everything that we have going on right now. Just I'm not even going to quote them. There are 6 things that God says that He hates. If we get away from those 6 things, that's why the truth is so important. We could literally heal the land. And that's what we need right now. I'm getting ready to go into an appointment, so I just wanted to say that before I got off.
Good deal. Cassandra, definitely appreciate you. Happy New Year, sister. And give us a call if you need us, okay?
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, bye-bye.
Rico.
Yeah, I agree with Cassandra. I was thinking that same thing, man. I just been, ever since she said that about the truth, I'm like, man, you know what? The truth solves the whole situation. Regardless of if you are right or wrong, the truth solves the problem, and it dismisses that wrong or that falsehood that remains. It gets rid of the negative energy, the negative aspect of stuff when you bring the truth to the table. Even though it may be painful, it may hurt.
Yes.
But the thing is right is right and wrong is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at the situation that this world is in today. You know, I hear the religious aspect of, you know, people saying, you know, using God and what He hates and what He has disdain for. And I say to myself, I know a lot of what He hates and has disdain for, but a lot of that stuff now people love it. A lot of the stuff that God hates and has disdain for, a lot of people love that right now. They want it. And they actually manipulate the Bible and everything else they can to justify, to continue condoning what they're doing, you know, and emboldening each other. You get what I'm saying? So it's like we have to just keep it honest, keep it real. You know, some people call it keeping it 100. That's the truth.
Yeah.
The truth is wrong. I don't care if you try to go and use a religious way to spin it to make yourself feel better, or to say Jesus died on the cross for your sins, and then you go back and do the same thing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday again, and come back Sunday again and say, well, long as I repent,
well, Rico,
you know what I'm saying? You still was wrong. You know right from wrong.
You know what they say, Rico? And this is what they say all the time when it's a situation like that you talking about. First thing they're gonna say is, well, you can't judge me. God know my heart.
Exactly. And how can you tell me that I'm doing wrong? As long as I repent and accept Jesus as my Lord and Savior. And I'm like, well, wait a minute though. You know what I'm saying? We keep doing the same thing every weekend.
Yeah.
The night before you went to church, you know, man, what I seen last night wasn't nothing godly about that. I liked it.
Yeah.
But you know, but now let's keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Who you fooling? But see, if you actually look at the truth and accept it for what it is, then you can actually fix that flaw within yourself. If you're using Jesus as a crutch to justify your wrongdoing, but that's the world we live in now.
Exactly. And that's the thing they say most of the time, man. Well, you know, God know my heart. You can't tell me God know my heart now. Yeah, okay. That's why He ain't giving you what you're asking for, because He know your heart, and you ain't ready for it. Badger, Donald, and then Toya.
Sweet, because I'm about to have to hop off myself.
Okay.
I was sitting here thinking about the truth thing and what Rico's talking about, and Cassandra and most other people. When I brought up the topic of the lighter earlier, you know, and I said it just is. Like, it's what it does. That's it. No label to it whatsoever. To me, that is a truth. Those things just are. So if the truth is we are all one, all things are of great mystery, creation, God, what happened to make people change from that mentality to the way it is now?
Greed and capitalism.
So yeah.
you threw him off there, Rico. You threw him off
just a little bit.
You were going. You threw him off. Where'd that come from?
But
who wants
but
that?
like earlier, I used the term of, you know, how I used the term Christianity. I want to kind of take that back, because if the person was truly following the life and living the life that Christ did, they wouldn't have implemented the laws that they implemented in the governments in different countries all around the world, nor would the organized religions that use the Bible in the way that they do. So kind of going back to what Rico was saying, the capitalism and everything else, somebody realized that they could use it to gain power.
Yep.
That's the source. When people realize they can use something for power to use it upon other people, that becomes an issue. And then when people when people read the Bible or see all the stuff, you know, they see the preacher driving a Mercedes Benz, you know, some of them get this mentality of, well, if I live life the way he does and use the Bible the way he does, maybe I can drive that Mercedes Benz like he does. So perception plays a factor. Truth plays a factor.
And one of the truths that a lot of people sometimes don't want to deal with, I say sometimes,
fake truth. I'm sorry.
Yeah, one of the big that people don't come to you next is in the hood. Let's talk about the hood for a second. Let's go to the hood. There's a little child in that hood that's struggling. Don't have the best of the best. Really, you know, honestly speaking, may have what people would consider the worst of the worst in regards to his clothing, his or her clothing, and struggling to have food on the table to eat every day. Every day is a struggle. Every day is a struggle to find some food to eat. And the parents are doing the best they can, maybe single parent or even if it's two parents in the household, they're just having a real hard time right now. And every day, Monday through Friday, the father walked the child to school. And the child see the drug dealer driving a beautiful car, dressed real nicely, everybody flocking to the drug dealer. And the child see this, and he said, "Man, he got all the money. Man, that I want to be like him, or I want to be like her, because sometimes the drug dealer is a female. I want to be like her. I want to have that money so I can have the food, them pretty cars and stuff like this." What truth is that, Donald? What truth is this child going to live?
You just pointed out reality. I mean, really. You have to rid yourself of the lust of the eye, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life.
But Donald, the truth of the matter, brother, and I don't mean to step in on you, but truth of the matter, when a person is struggling, when a person is hungry, they don't want to hear that, brother. They don't want to hear that. Only thing they want to hear is, look here, I need some food, man.
We can't handle the truth. We can't handle the truth. We don't. I know we would like to, but that would open a whole avenue of how we all really live. See, because I have no perfection in me. I know we talk about Christians, give them a good name and a bad name. You know, depends on who they are. But the truth is, you got skeletons in your closet too.
Yeah.
I got some in mine.
We all do.
You know. But we don't want to the truth to come out about us. We want the truth to come out about somebody else. So then we go back to being biased and self-righteous. And we still have the same problem.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna have to straighten out man's mindset.
But like you said, man, that's a reality. Badger, you said you wanted to say something before you got off?
Yeah, just real quick. I have a dentist appointment. I just want to say thank you to everyone that's calling in and listening. Thank you guys for being open-minded and sharing y'all's viewpoints and everything. And I hope everyone has a beautiful and blessed day. And I will catch you guys tomorrow.
See you in the morning. Yes, sir. Same bat place, same bat channel. Yeah, how we do. Toya with a T. Talk to me, sis. Toya, you there? Toya, I'm about to say it to you. 1, 2, 3. Toya, wake up and go to sleep. Wake up and go to sleep. Rico, talk to me, brother.
You know, that goes back to earlier what you were saying about when people walk in a room and they hate you. You know, they really have that spirit of envy and hate because they lack certain characteristics themselves. You know, so the reality is that they don't want to accept the truth that they need to step up their game. They have to step up and realize their potential or try to achieve whatever it is. You know, that the materialism, you know, that goes on now. Like that story you told about the drug dealer, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe it's the stripper that got the son or the daughter that's always the sharpest. They might not be the most respectful children, but those children that's doing without might see that drug dealer dropping off their children at school. And they may end up hating their children because they didn't have to do anything or don't have to go through the stuff that they go through. And maybe those children of the drug dealer or the strippers are not so good in school. Maybe they are privileged, they don't do good, they're disrespectful. All they got to do is just exist. Just be the child of this person, and you just have the finest of the finest things. And so here it is, you got this child that's trying to do the right thing. They're trying to do good in school, but then people picking with them because they got holes in their socks. People picking with them because they got too small shoes on. Maybe they want to play football, but when it comes time for them to dress out, they got holes in their drawers. And people picking with them, and they holding it like it's their fault, not the parents' fault, but like it's their fault. Or maybe the parents are intentionally not just poor, but they just drug addicts and choose not to do the right thing, so they still suffer. You know, they cause a lot of animosity. It's hard to wake up from that animosity because you know somewhere people see what's going on with you, but they don't have any kind of compassion to address it. So that goes back to again to what I was saying earlier about if I rule the world, there would be no poverty, there would be no third world countries, there would be, you know, no children in neglect, regardless of what the parents was doing. Because we all have eyes. We see these children sometimes walking around in the wintertime with too short coats on and sleeves up the hip, sleeves cutting off right there. We know they've been wearing the jacket for the last 3 years and they don't hit a growth spurt, but the parent can't afford it. We see them in the grocery store sometimes wanting to buy pork chops or chicken wings tonight to feed everybody, but just so happen they got to put everything back because they just ain't got enough to get this. So we're gonna get these little canned goods that's a little cheaper. We see it, we talk about it, but what we do about it? Some people, when they do something about it, they want to go live. Look at me, y'all. Look at me being nice.
Yeah, exactly. Look at what
y'all. Hey, like this and share this. Me being a human being. Me caring about another human life. You know, the love of life is we lacking it so much. We really lack the love and appreciation and respect of this gift of life that we have. And therefore, truth has to compete with materialism.
Exactly.
Truth has to compete with power and greed and access. We have to put what's right to the side for privilege. Like God has said earlier, Tamir Rice's murderers didn't get prosecuted again. Down here in the Galleria in Birmingham, E.J. Bradford got shot in the back of the head. And they still won't release the footage. And they still didn't do it the legal way. The precedence that was set about it going through a district attorney before it goes to the state attorney. Oh, we just gonna bypass all the laws and put it in the hand of the top man so he can give this man a free pass. For taking a life. And we ain't gonna give this man mama or daddy no justice. You know what I'm saying? So I mean that privilege and that need for material things, man. I mean, hey, if I rule the world, it would be a whole different story.
Exactly. Toya with a T, talk to me, sis. Toya?
Oh, yeah, you guys, I'm here. You know, everybody, when I tell y'all, everybody's perspective is just out of this world, man. But like you said earlier, Raheem, it's one truth. You know what I mean? And I think it's everybody, each individual independent responsibility to find out what that truth is. And if you have a truth that's different from somebody else's, I mean, that's, you know, a good indicator that you probably would want to look at whose truth is the real truth. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, just great conversation today, y'all, man. This is something that I think people need to understand and talk about and carry on into the world and to that daily basis. And just remember, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. God still loves us, regardless of how we feel and what category we want to put ourselves in and click to. Because at the end of the day, we all want to be a part of something. And that's why we want to click up, Muslim, Buddha, Christian, Jew, this, that, and the third. Because we always want to be a part of something. But if we just hold on to that, we are a part of God. And that's all we need. It won't be no need for strife and confusion, man. But great job, you guys, man. I love y'all so much for this conversation. I can't wait to hear tomorrow's topic.
Absolutely, absolutely. Kay, what's on your heart? God is coming to you next.
The truth will set you free. That's all I can say. The truth will definitely set you free. And that's what a lot of people say. One thing about Kay, she gonna tell the truth. Might not like it, but she gonna tell the truth. And it just set you free. Everything just goes so much smoother and so much better. I tell a person quick, you lie, you steal, you'll lie. So that's my thing. So just tell the truth. We're gonna go a long way.
Exactly.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth. Goddess?
I'm gonna go back to the truth. Truth is God. God is truth. But everybody is not of God. And once we realize that, then we'll understand a lot more. And we as African Americans, Black, Negroes, however way you want to put it, because we got a whole list of names that we've been changed throughout time. And that's not truth. So we answer to a whole lot of different names. We pray to Jesus Christ, and we know there was no J's in the Bible. There was no J's in the Hebrew language. So we know the truth that it is Yahshua, but how many people change that up and start saying Yahshua? So that's why I question what people's truths are. Are you really a person of Christ? Because you still running around talking about Jesus instead of Yahshua. Are you believing in Adam and Eve when they then found the body of Lilith? So, I mean, one thing I studied the Bible real deep when I went to school. I went to Baptist school, which we had to study the Bible. And then I went to Catholic school, which we studied. Well, one of the questions that I gave to our religion teacher, he was not a pastor, a priest. And my question is, why do I have to keep kneeling down, praying the Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for our sinners now in the hour of our death, and use this rosary? When they say God says, have no other gods before thee.
Yes.
Why do I have to pray to Mother Mary when Jesus died for my sins and I can go straight to God? I don't need an intercessory. He told me I ain't even have to go to religious class no more. Because he answered it and said, no, you don't. So why do y'all do it?
There you
go. Truth can be in a whole lot of different scenarios, but are we ready for the truth? Are we ready?
Can we digest it? Can we digest it?
Can we digest it? They can find everybody before Christ. Why come they can't find that one Black person in the Bible? They can archaeologically dig up everybody before Christ, why they can't find anybody that was from the Bible?
Toussaint?
Would this world be better if Jesus was black or white or Indian or Muslim or atheist? We, that's why the beauty of our differences is so important. Versatility, being different, one frame of mind. I can't think like nobody else. I'm not trying to. You can't discredit or take away from what I stand on because you don't feel that way. That's the beauty of it all. We have free choice. I think that if this world were mine, then I would have to be God. There would be no other alternative. Otherwise, I would have it jacked up all over again.
All over again.
Because
yes, sir.
I would have to get rid of somebody that don't think like me.
It will go
and
against,
that means,
go against the grain.
Process of elimination.
Yep.
What they're trying to do right now.
Trying to get rid of us.
Population control.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Rico, talk to me, brother. Close us out.
I was thinking that I don't think two truths can contradict each other, because to me, truth equals right. Truth equals fair. And if two different people have two different truths, but they're right, then somebody can't be wrong. It just got to be a misunderstanding.
Let me ask you this. If your truth, Rico, was based on actually the factual truth, and my truth was, okay, if I do this, it's going to yield me $50 million. That's my truth. It's going to yield me $50 million. Which one of us is wrong?
Hold up. You got to go get a little bit more into detail with that with me.
Okay, see, your truth is, say if your truth is based on just the facts, this is the fact of the matter. They're letting the police officers walk and letting them get away with murder, and if all the facts state that they're wrong, it was an unjustified murder. And my truth could be like, and my truth was, well, Raheem, if you you get the station over there, you go and put out this right here, put out this narrative right here, and once you do this for 6 months, we're going to give you $10 million. We're gonna pay you $10 million for circulating this right here. The truth is what you said is the absolute truth about what happened, but my truth could be quote unquote selling out and gonna get, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna get $10 million. But my narrative is gonna be wrong. My narrative gonna be what they want. What they want.
Your intention.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's still gonna be your truth. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I put it to this way: everything that's fair might not be good, or might not feel good to you. Unless you are a selfish person. I put it to this way: when you got a love and appreciation for all life, then what's fair is gonna be good to you, even though you may lose. That means that you might have to sacrifice something that you got too much of. But it ain't fair that you got all of this. The truth is that you shouldn't have had all this. The truth is that everybody should have the same amount, like with minimum wage, profit sharing. I put that in the group earlier. Profit sharing at a job. The truth is that Jeff Bezos got enough money to actually improve the livelihood of everybody that works for him, especially with him breaking records every year. And the truth is that he should be fair. But to him, it won't be fair, because he's selfish, he greedy. You get what I'm saying? So the truth is still the truth. It just ain't gonna be fair to everybody. But if he was actually being true with himself, he was being fair and righteous, wouldn't nobody have to tell him, look, man, raise up minimum wage, $20 an hour. You worth just as much money as Honda and Mercedes right now. Pay these people. You get what I'm saying? So I don't think, like I said, to me, I don't think two different truths can contradict themselves. I just think they just have to have more understanding about the intention of the truth or whatever, you know. But if it wasn't for selfishness, then we wouldn't have a problem with truth.
Mm-hmm. But my thing is, and my truth in that instance, I think would be totally wrong, because you know it will be that scenario right there would just only be self-motivating. It'll be self-motivating. Only thing you're doing is you letting yourself be sold out for that monetary gain, and you're not dealing with the truth, and you're not dealing with what's the reality. Reality is okay. God is you okay. The reality is these people are being killed. These people are being murdered. These people are being assassinated in the streets by the people, by the very people that's supposed to serve and protect us. And for any individual to have a platform and to come on here and take the money to support the narrative of wrong, man, you know, that should be beneath anybody that have any dignity about themselves.
See, that's what I was saying. Selfish motivation actually creates the discrepancy with truth. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the truth of that person that has an ulterior motive for selfish gain. So that is his truth to justify what he's trying to do, but that's not the truth for the benefit of all of life involved. You get what I'm saying? So, our truth, the rest of the world's truth would be to say, you know what, man, that's not beneficial to anybody else. That's selfish. We would be telling the truth, and he would be telling his truth, but he would have to understand that his truth is only benefiting him and is only for his gain. That would be the ultimate truth also.
Exactly. Goddess, what's on your heart? I see you got something on your heart over there. I see.
I was just saying that, remember when we all was going to school, the truth was Christopher Columbus discovered America. Wasn't that the truth? I couldn't find out it ain't never been the truth, but it was the truth for us, baby.
Hey, I knew it was a lie when I heard it. I'm like, man, they said it was some people already here. Wait a minute, that don't sound like discovery to me. Y'all need to show me another dictionary.
Hold on, y'all gotta understand that. Y'all gotta understand the man on TikTok said he discovered this car. He said, I discovered this car. I didn't steal this car. I discovered this car. The car was here. I discovered the car. My car. I discovered the car. He said he discovered the car, but hey, it was already there. But anyway, let me go to Rico. Rico, what's going on at 3 o'clock today, brother?
If you missed today's show and would like to catch it in its entirety, tune in to www.dkm Media or Facebook DKM Media 1.1 at 3 p.m. Eastern time today.
Good deal. Toya with a T. Toya with a T.
Yes, sir.
Pray us out, ma'am. Pray us out.
Oh, absolutely. Father, we want to thank you for another glorious day, Lord. We want to thank you for keeping your hand over us, keeping us protected. We want to continue to ask you to continue to guide us and make sure we can do what is your will. Keep us blessed and make sure that we honor you with everything we do. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. It is time for us to anybody got anything in your heart before we get out of here? Anybody got anything before we get out of here? Everybody good? Okay, good deal. It is now 10:03. You're about to exit the morning. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and associates to be and the Morning Glow to be a part of your day. If you don't mind doing this, share this broadcast. I think there's a lot of jewels that was shared on this broadcast today that I think a lot of people need to hear. So if you don't mind doing so, please share the broadcast. Start a watch party on your social media. Just share the page and make sure everybody have an opportunity to hear exactly what was being said today. It's been a great broadcast. Let me see. Somebody said, spell it. When truth came. I don't know what this is. Somebody say spell. I don't know what that means. That means something though. Somebody said spell it. Okay. IT. They spell it. Okay. IT. There you go. You have it. I spelled it. It is now 10:04. You're about to exit on the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. We shine some of this light on you from the morning glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. You all have a great day. Love each other. Go out there, find somebody, and give them some love. You might just find some love in return. Y'all have a great day. Take care of each other. Talk to you doing Real Men Being Men tonight. Make sure you join us 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on DK Media Group and Associates. Have a great day.